the most heartbreaking scenes in like all the anime. Just like
the
realization when we see Maru get up in the morning. And I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, bro was really getting his cheeks clapped and his mind broken for the last 2 days. Like, all right, man, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to your favorite anime podcast, man, Otaku Perspective. I'm your host, Jordan, man, here with my co-host. We got Dwayne.
Yo, what's up?
We got TJ.
It's fine, man.
We got Theo.
It's good.
Man, this week we reviewed Heavenly Delusion. Last week we reviewed Violet Evergarden, man. Go see that episode if you haven't seen it already. You can see a review, a reaction, on my channel, man, to episode 1 of Heavenly Delusion. And this week, going back to Heat, man, my turn to pick our next show, man. So stay tuned for all that and more. Play the intro.
Here we go. Hey. I'm a real spitter, baby. Give me all the currency. Ain't nobody in this rap game going hard as me. Tripled up my money, niggas say I got that pedigree. You ain't heard by now, let me introduce also from 3. When you see me out, hella gas in rotation. I can't even count all these blunts I've been facing. Told that bitch to get up off my ass, up off my case. This ain't even that, why you switching up the play? Like I won't pull up and dick you down and skirt off, take a race. Why you trying to check me, girl, you know that ain't your place. I've been working, I've been rolling, I'm so sorry for the wait. I've been living in the studio, like that's where I stay.
All right, man, just getting into some background info on the show, man. 13-episode series done by Production IG from 2023. The MAL score is at 8.22. For some of the voice actors, man, in the Japanese, for Kiriko, we got Sayaka Simbong, who plays Haru from Beastars. For the English, we got Kuna Panini Anjali, who plays Yuki from Jujutsu Kaisen. For Maru in the Japanese, we get Gen Soto, who plays Chrome in Dr. Stone. And in the English, we got Jonathan Leon, who plays Kazushi from Tokyo Revengers. Without any further ado, man, let's get to breaking down this show. Episode 1. I got Kiriko and Maru continue to scavenge for food as well as fight off bandits in their quest to reach Tomato Heaven. We are also introduced to a separate plot line revolving around kids at a school inside a dome-like structure. All right, man. Stood out to you guys about episode 1.
Immediately gave me Promised Neverland vibe. Once we got to the facility of all the kids and seeing what their life was like, immediately I just felt like, wow, is this Promised Neverland? Okay, let's get right into it. I like the background scenes from the real world or present time with Maru and Kiriko. I like the coloring of it. It looks super realistic in the apocalyptic world that they was living in. That's the first 2 things that stood out to me immediately getting into the episode.
I feel like I think this was a good first episode as far as just setting up both plot lines and the world in general and just everything that was going on. We got to see the kind of Madam. I put Madam Professor X, Shorty and the director that was in the chair. Yeah. So we got to see her and a lot of the other adults. Because when I first seen the kids, I was like, it's just robots. You know what I mean? Who's monitoring them? What's going on? But I feel like it did a good job of kind of fleshing out the world of both plot lines and kind of letting us know what we was in for. So I can't lie. After seeing the first episode, I just was ready to dive into some more and see what was going on.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when they get confronted by the bandits. Kiriko says that she's a boy, right? And then Maru is the one that actually gets confused for being a girl. I thought that was interesting. Of course, that comes up later. Maru's fighting skills definitely stood out to me in this first episode where he just easily is handling the bandits, and then of course the gun. We see the gunshot, and it's this fucking ray gun, laser gun thing.
Thunder gun, really.
Yeah, because one thing that throw down after seeing that fight, I was it's interesting that she's his bodyguard when it's obvious that he can take care of himself.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
It definitely immediately calls into question, who is he that he's so important that he needs a bodyguard, which obviously we learn later on why he'd be so important.
Right.
Towards the end of the episode, they arrive at a hot springs.
Yeah.
And I was like, People
like
still,
hotel sorts.
and they're using like real currency still. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you taking real money and why is there a hot spring during this like end of the world type situation, this wasteland? What else did I have for this? They get drugged by the keeper at the hot springs. Yeah, the stew drugs them, like puts them to sleep. At first, I thought she was gonna like rob them, like steal all their stuff after she drugged them.
I kind of knew what was going on once she was like, "Why am I this sleepy?" I literally wrote like, "Innkeeper drugged him with stew?" Question mark. I'm like, yeah, I knew something was kind of off with that shit. So.
Yeah, that's what I got for one.
Yeah, y'all pick up on the guest list that all people coming in. And Maru and Kiriko is like, wow, all these people came in before us. But then you realize, like, hey, the monster that they was talking about was actually her child or something.
Right, yeah.
So I thought it was pretty wild. And it's like, oh, so she's been like feeding
Basically,
this man eater.
like
and
feeding
talking about that.
to this man.
Because
that's another thing too. I was like, why the fuck did she leave him? Why did she drug him?
Mm-hmm.
If she told him not to go out, so I'm figuring like as long as they don't go out, they'll be safe. Why the fuck you drug them?
Well, she really drugged him because they was like, oh, they kill the man eaters, and she was like, my son is still a part of him. That was like the main reason she drugged him.
That is true. She did. That is true. That happened.
All right, y'all ready for two?
Yeah.
All right, I got for episode 2, we get our first look at the monsters of the series when a man-eater attacks the inn where Kiriko and Maru are staying at. After leaving the inn, Maru and Kiriko stumble upon a farm village where survivors have attempted to resume a somewhat normal life. The duo decide to not stay on the farm and instead board a boat where Kiriko reveals to Maru that he is actually Haruki. Also, we get more character development for the children at the school in this episode. All right, we got our opening for the first time in this episode. What do you guys think of the opening?
I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with the opening, bro. I give it like a. I ain't gonna lie, I then looked it up and saved it. I put it in a Spotify playlist. That motherfucker was hard. I like the visuals. It really was the music, cause I watched it in dub mostly, so that shit was just playing. I was on my phone, looked up, I'm like, hey, this motherfucker kind of rocking. Then I seen the visuals. Now some of them, I don't know if it might not have been CGI, it might have just been like poorly or not as animated as well. Some of the scenes in the OP, like in the intro, I kind of was like, But for the most part, I thought that shit was cool. I thought it was hard. And there was a lot of episodes I didn't skip it. Like, I let it play type shit. So.
No, really?
Hell yeah.
Mid-opening, so...
Yeah, I skip it every time. That's right.
I thought it was definitely cool.
Yeah,
I fucked with it.
Yeah, I like the opening a lot.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. How y'all felt about like going to the opening scene? Like how you think that was gonna do for the world when it transitions to facility? You see all the kids doing their own thing. They like the open scene. For me, when I caught my eyes, you see the two students kissing in the back of the tree. I'm like, oh shoot! I'm like, all right. Like, so are these kids not knowing like where they came from, or are they just not taught like what's male, female, or how life is and all that? I thought it was like, all right, so we're gonna get like a in-depth information background on these kids on their life and how they grew up or what it was going to be all about.
No, I think that was something that, as far as like with the two girls kissing, or just with a lot of different things actually, throughout the show, like in the compound, you feel me? A lot of stuff between the kids happened that basically, you know what I mean? I took it as just like, okay, maybe they getting up that age, like they going through puberty, they having, you know what I mean? They having urges. Being around people their age of, you feel me, the same sex or different sex, and they interacting with each other all the time, like, it's just, you know what I mean, it's just life. It happens. But also, like, the director and other people in the show, like, the adults of the compound made it known that, like, we haven't shown the kids this. Like, when they saw them kissing on the camera, they literally was like, what made them invent a kiss? Because we never showed them that. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? They don't know what that is. So, I don't know. It definitely, like, I don't know. I just chalked it up to just kind of like physical, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they getting older. You know what I mean? They going through puberty or whatever. They getting urges. I just kind of chalked it up to that.
Yeah.
That's like more like they was looking at them like lab rats. Of course, I've already seen the series, so I knew. But even episode 1, you can kind of see by the way they were talking, interacting with them, they were more like test subjects, just like dropping them in the middle of wherever they are just to see how they react and learn without them outwardly telling them. That's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah. By this episode, I did definitely note, like, what is the purpose of the children? Yeah. Obviously, like Theo had kind of talked about, it's similar to a Promised Neverland setup where we know the purpose of the children in Promised Neverland were to eventually be food for the monsters.
Right.
Okay, in this type setup, what is the purpose of the children?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely put down Promised Neverland even after back to the innkeeper situation with the monster coming in. I was like, yeah, this is definitely a Promised Neverland vibes. Another thing I wrote down, I definitely like. So now we getting this Mario and Kiriko relationship. You kind of see how they're interacting now. I marked down. I like the funny moments they had so far. It was pretty cool. Just keep lighting the mood, even though it seemed like it's supposed to be like a dark story. But just those two dynamic relationships they had was pretty funny, especially when they jumped down in the water. They made like their own canoe. And then Mario was just like, there could be crocs in here or whatever. And she's like, no, it could be eating you. It's like, maybe eating you. You see them just like spazzing out. Once they get across the river, it's like, yeah, there was definitely freshwater alligators in there. It was just like spazzing out. So I kind of got a kick out of that, which was pretty funny to me. So
yeah. As I'll say, as far as like to Dwayne and Jordan's point, as far as the kids like seeming like lab rats or test subject, I definitely wrote that down and I was like, okay, they definitely got to be growing these kids in the lab. Like we see the one kid, he's like super athletic, you feel me? Like he's jumping hella high, you know what I mean? And then we seen like the other kid was like really Taro, he was like sick and in the room. Mm-hmm. So just from those two things, I don't know, I just figured like, I don't know, just off what we seen like with the man-eaters, like at this point I'm figuring like, okay, maybe they growing these kids, you know what I mean, but at the same time, like Jordan said, I didn't really know what the purpose was. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked this episode, though, definitely, because it gave us some more in-depth of, like, and I wrote down, like, the kids seemed normal as far as, like, their interaction with each other. So that was another thing that kind of took a while for me. Like, I had to, you know what I mean, either, like, hear it said or, like, see some more evidence for me to know, like, okay, these are not regular kids. Because just with, like, how they interact with each other and, like, the kind of, like, friendships and bonds that we seen that they had, like, already have established, they seem, like, very normal and just, like, you know what I mean? Like, interact with each other in, like, just a normal, like, friendly way. So, I didn't see anything, like, out of the ordinary as far as that.
Yeah. We do also learn this episode that what they refer to as the Great Disaster happened 15 years ago. See a little bit of backstory with Maru where we see how they kind of got off on this quest. The lady comes to them and she has the gun that they get where Haruki gets the gun from, and she basically tells him to like assist him and taking him to where, this place where it's supposed to be someone who looks like him and they're supposed to meet up. So we get a little bit of that. And I kind of question, like, is she in a way connected to the dome? Mm-hmm. Because she has the gun, and I'm like, okay, the only thing we've seen so far with like technology on that level would be the dome and the people at the dome. Yeah. And I question, could they be moving towards the dome because they keep on talking about this heaven place, mm-hmm. And the only place we've seen so far that looks anywhere near decent is that place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just off them, like once I found out they're looking for heaven, and then I seen the compound, I just instantly was like, okay, so this in one way or another, like this is the place they got to be heading because, you know what I mean? Like you feel me? We're told he's looking for a mystery destination, and then we're shown a mystery destination. They never say like where this is, or you know what I mean, or anything like that. We really don't get a lot of information as far as the location of the compound or like its purpose or what they're really doing there. So I just kind of figured that it had to be connected in that way.
That's all I got for 2 though.
Yeah, 2. We also see the farmers. They get introduced to the farmers growing as Za. I had that written down. And we do learn a little bit about Kiriko as far as her past. I believe, like, they go to a town and, like, one of the dudes recognize her as far as, like, a kart racer or something. And we also see, like, their relationship. We also kind of see, like, her and Maru's, the basis of their relationship, because he kind of steps in. And even though, like Maru, I felt like he was as curious as the audience to know, like, damn, what is her past or whatever the case may be, he still was like, nah, bro, you got the wrong person. After he seen that, you feel me, Kiriko was, like, hella uncomfortable and didn't really want to talk about it, he just kind of stood up for her in that moment, like, nah, bro, you got the wrong person, like, go on ahead. So, yeah.
Yeah, they just look similar.
Right, yeah, that's what he said. Like, yeah, they just look alike or whatever.
Yeah. Think of the first man eater. I thought all the man eaters was gonna look like that one, the one that attacks the end, like the winged one with the 3 whips.
I did expect them all to be kind of like, I don't know, it kind of gave off more like Monster Hunter. Like I thought they all would be more like a physical spectacle, like something to look at, something big, something like, you know what I mean, super scary or whatever the case may be. But you know what I mean, they weren't all like that. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that one was tough. Like. Yeah. With the whips, they was fighting it at night. They couldn't really see it. Mm-hmm. Like that shit was probably the toughest fight they had. I feel like.
That thing was freaky. I thought all of them was gonna be just like that one. Though. Like that was just like the generic monster of the show.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I had the same thought, Jordan. I mean, I thought it was always gonna be the same. Just this fun man eater that just wrecking havoc. Everybody just knows scattered across the land. We also see a decent fight with the 2 protagonists and man eater fight. I thought that was pretty interesting. And just seeing Maru in general just like manhandle, I was like, damn, okay, so where does this man come? Yeah, like where does this man come from? Like, all right, he got like super suspicion about the fight, and I was like, all right, so that was pretty dope, at least from what I seen of it.
Yeah, we kind of get our first instance of the Maru touch.
Maru touch.
Yeah, so he got that Generator Rex death touch. Boy, he touch your body, go through up to your heart. I said, yeah. Well, I don't know. When I seen it, I thought it would be like LOP, like, because after that I really wrote like, so can he do that to humans too? Like, this nigga gotta be careful who he touch. I'm like, bro, this nigga seem kind of OP. Then if he could just, touch you and kill you, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty wild though. I mean, so how you guys feel about just that? I guess a little scene where the innkeeper is trying to like protect. The man eater. And you just see Maru. Yeah. I was just like,
I was kind of expecting something to happen at that point, but I feel like that was the first plot twist of the show where I felt like I could see it happening, like I could see it coming, but I feel like that was more of not like the show making it obvious or giving it away, but I just think it kind of was like. I'm like, bro, it would be too cliche for this woman to really be close with this man eater and you feel me, not kill her. And then I thought like it would be even more cliche for her to just get bopped by this thing right here as she defended it, which happened to happen. But you know what I mean? I thought it was like a good plot twist. Like it definitely caught me off guard. I was expecting it, but I didn't really think they was gonna do it. Like I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like how gritty or like serious or like whatever the tone the show was gonna take. Mm-hmm. So up until that point, you know what I mean? I figured like, dang, like I really wrote down like, well, dang, maybe man eaters, you feel me? Maybe you can communicate with them. Maybe it is like a person still in there, whatever the case may be. So yeah. But I mean, after that, I was like, okay, nope, never mind. We were right. You said it's over. Yeah. Like once you get killed by one of them, once one of them show up, man, it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
All right, get into this episode 3, man. We get the backstory of how Haruki became trapped in Kiryuko's body.
Right.
My first note for this episode is who is wasting power on go-kart races? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
that was kind of goofy.
Yeah, that was definitely. I don't know. I kind of liked it though. I feel like it was. I think it just kind of showed, and also like with the innkeeper, like how you feel me. Like I think it was Jordan or somebody was like, why would they have like hot springs in this area? Mm-hmm. And I feel like this kind of adds to one of the qualities of the show that I liked. That like it helped build the world in the sense of saying like, you know what I mean? Like enough time has passed. Like the world has ended and like shit's fucked. But at the end of the day, like humans are humans, and you know what I mean? Like people are gonna strive and people are going to survive in every way they can. So you feel me? I just thought it kind of added to the world, like, all right, dang, now we're at a point where, you know what I mean, people are now, like you said, like now people are devoting resources to, you know what I mean, to entertainment and bullshit to accumulate riches. Like now, you feel me? Like now we done kind of moved past we just trying to survive. Like now niggas have resources to spare on something like go-kart racing. So, I thought it was kind of cool and just like help build the world and show like, you know what I mean? Like the world's going to keep going even if it was a big reset or disaster or whatever the case may be. Motherfuckers are still going to strive like, type shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I looked at it as more as they were doing it to like distract themselves, just to have something to do so they're not just sitting there.
Right.
Like, oh, we're sitting here waiting until the next man eater comes to fuck us up.
Right. He would definitely need stuff to do, bro.
Eventually, we get the scene where Haruki notices a man-eater like on the course of the track and try to like stop the race. And I instantly was like, if he can see this like semi-transparent man-eater, why wouldn't everybody else be able to see it? And they just go, oh yeah, turn around. I'm like, is it invisible, quote unquote?
I think they did a good job of showing it. Because, you feel me? I just felt like from the light or whatever, I'm like, oh, he can kind of get a glimpse of it. But I just figured, like, bro, they coming that fast. They're not going to see that motherfucker. You feel me? Like, I figured somebody's definitely going to run into that motherfucker. Yeah. But they didn't. I feel like they didn't show a good job of this nigga, like, trying to. I kind of knew he was going to get bopped by this one. You feel me? I'm like, he done ran out. He barely went up to anybody and was like, hey. And then was like, oh, I got it. And he picked up a screw and put it in the crossbow. I'm like, yeah, this nigga's about to die, bro.
I definitely wrote down my notes.
Yeah.
Like, how is he such a dumbass for trying to stop that monster, bro? Like, when I seen him, I was just like, dude, what makes you think?
Like, I'd have rather him get one to the finish line. Like, stop, nobody go. It's a man. Yeah, like, I would have rather the boy cry wolf situation where he really stop everything and they go look and they like, yeah, this dude tripping. It's nothing over here. Than that, where I'm like, well, it's obvious he's about to die now because he can't handle that. Whatever it is over there, he's not handling that.
Seeing the man eater. I mean, person seeing the man eater eating him, I'm just like, damn, that's I was like, damn, they see Kiriki and all the rest of the go-kart racers get there, and she notices him getting, consumed by this monster. I was like, oh shit, what she's about to do? And sure enough, she smacks the monster, pull her brother out. Now I was expecting he still had his limbs and everything attached, but I was like, if this show has his limbs
that
attached,
nigga hard down
like,
to the
really,
bone.
Man? Yeah, I seen like arms missing. I was like, oh my god, I was just like, this is gonna be that kind of show. I mean, granted, episode before we seen how it was gonna be, but I wasn't too sure because he's part of the main cast. I didn't know how injured this person was gonna be, but yeah, that was pretty wild to me seeing that, and then seeing the after effect of both of the siblings. I'm like, oh, all right.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, they did say that he, the night before they killed, he helped. Well, he was the one that gave like the finishing blow to the man eater. So maybe he was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe every man eater will be like
by yourself. Yeah, with a group, but by yourself.
but they didn't really specify. So we didn't really see.
Like, Dwayne is right. Yeah, they did walk up. Some people walked up to him like, we heard you killed the man eater. And he was like, he was being humble. Like, nah, it wasn't just me, man. I had some help. But I could see how he was kind of, you know what I mean? Like, kind of doped up. Like, oh, I got it. But obviously, obviously not. Yeah,
you don't got it, bro. You're not like that.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, so he dies, or at least we would assume he's dead because the injuries look pretty severe.
Yeah.
And then we get the big switcheroo twist where he wakes up and he's in his sister's body and he's like, how am I still alive?
Yeah.
And he's like saying to the doctors, like, I'm in the wrong body, whatever. And they just think like it's trauma or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just had like a whole host of notes like, bro, there's no way this would even be possible in real life, even remotely. Like, all his organs would have been shut down.
Then I was thinking, like, I feel like the show did a horrible job of trying to, like, this is like a plot twist that really didn't make a lot of sense because they didn't even show his sister getting injured. No. I'm like, bro, like imagine you got a family member with you. They're sick. They're dead, almost dead. You take them to the hospital, nigga. You're healthy. They're sick, and next thing you know, nigga, you're dead and they're in your body. I'm like, how the fuck? How did y'all just forcefully take her brain out of her body, nigga? Last time we seen her, she was fine. She was fully healthy. She's holding them, crying. She's intact. I'm like, nigga. Like, why would I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Now that was one thing I didn't like. I like to this day, end of the show, I feel like that shit. Like they just threw that in. Like,
oh, we get context on it later.
Yeah. I mean, but not sufficiently. Like, not sufficiently to where I felt like that shit was okay. Like I'm still like, nigga, dead. You really didn't have to.
We get is like a second frame, a 1 second frame. You could easily miss it, but we do like I think towards the last episode.
I must have missed that motherfucker.
Also, put that explain the mirror kiss from episode 1. Kind of get some explanation to that. If this was just her, why would she be trying to kiss herself in the mirror? But now we kind of realize, okay, that's
but now I see what you're saying. It was kind of like somebody getting used to a different body, but I don't know. But like I said, she wasn't even injured, so it's kind of like common sense wise, that shit.
Yeah.
I kind of took it as maybe she offered her body up to, like,
Right.
they're saying like they already hinted
okay.
before the doctor was already doing some weird shady stuff.
True.
So maybe he was like, hey, your brother's about to die. The only way we can save him is if you sacrifice yourself and put his brain in your body. So we didn't really get a lot of context on the situation. Maybe in the next season they'll talk about that more, but
Next season.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I questioned at this point, is the doctor possibly working for the Dome, the people at the Dome? Maybe
Right.
he's like some outside agent that's doing all this crazy stuff. We see Kona at the Dome. His drawings are like starting to be like what we see from the Man-Eater. So I'm like,
yeah.
because at the
Right.
very end of this episode, we see the fish
with
one.
the arms, yeah.
So it's like, is he drawing them and then they just come to life? Is he got like a power or something?
Yeah, that's literally what I put. Man-eaters are related to drawings? Question mark? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Then we've seen side character Robin here. See that he's been idolized by Haruki.
Yeah.
Whatever his name.
Yeah,
Haruki really looks up to him a lot. Wants to get his approval and be like him growing up, as we all know towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
But it was a nice little touch.
It
was
like
nice
a
little
big brother figure, yeah.
It was a nice little touch having two side characters.
Yeah, we'll cross that.
He's kind of like a leader of the troop where they try to keep like man-eaters away from the area they're staying in.
Right.
And we see Haruki in one of the moments, he's like trying to go with him. When they go to try to hunt one down, he's like, no, you're too young, it's too dangerous, you need to stay back. Whatever, like one of those. Anything else for 3?
No, not too much. I mean,
No.
yeah, not really. Other than Haruki's quest to just find the doctor and Robin the whole time.
Right.
That's Haruki's main quest.
Yeah, it does give us more context into like why she wants to track them down.
Yeah.
All right, episode 4. I got back at the school. Cuckoo leads Tokyo on a secret ops mission behind enemy lines to discover monster babies. Meanwhile, Maru and Haruki fight off a fish-like man-eater with many arms. I had Cuckoo with a goat after this episode. I just love the scene with them two. She climbs up the wall like easily, goes through the vents, and like did y'all watch JP? I just love her voice in the Japanese. She like a goofy voice. And they obviously break in. It's like, oh, I've seen babies before.
Yeah.
Come with me. There are babies in here.
Yeah. That was pretty wild. Though.
It just like casually go somewhere where it's like anybody with common sense would be like, oh, they're not supposed to be in here.
Right.
But to Cuckoo, it's just like, oh, I just go here all the time. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That shit was crazy.
That was funny.
Yeah, 'cause you see Conan drawing a baby, then Cuckoo was just like, babies, they don't have faces.
Right.
I'm like, huh? And you see Tokyo and her going on an adventure. I'm like, all right. See the people on security camera just looking, seeing everybody what they doing. And I'm just, all right, somebody sure is going to see Tokyo just struggle, climb up this wall, just get up this freaking robot and just go up there. I was like,
and there's like a glitch to where on the security cameras, there's nothing.
Nothing. And I'm like,
And that was something, too, that I was like, I'm like,
right, nobody gonna look into that.
I'm like, so the AI Mina? I'm like, so this bitch want the kids running around? I'm like,
I got it like my kind of own theory for that later, but
Okay, yeah, because we do see that later on in the series.
Yeah,
times where that happens.
It's a lot of times where it's kind of like it got to the point where I was like, okay, there somebody working with them or somebody knows what's like somebody want these kids to have this information and to them to get out because there's no way these niggas not seeing this shit.
Yeah.
I said, are the babies like clones of some sort? Because we seem like, are they like manufacturing the man-eaters?
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Are they like clones to become the next generation of the children? Like, what are these for?
Yeah. Right. I just thought they was growing man-eaters and letting them out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's what I put. They definitely growing them motherfucking man-eaters. As soon as I seen that baby with the heart coming out the bottom, I said, that's definitely a man-eater, and they're definitely gonna raise hell on people, bro, with that shit.
Yeah. So you see a little romance between Tokyo and Conan a little bit.
Yeah,
her in
towards the end of the
Tokyo,
episode.
Taro's in deathbed pretty much.
Yeah. Where he's like, he's dying, but he's kind of like trying to like put moves on her or whatever,
Trying to kiss her,
start something with her, and then she like runs off, and Kona consoles her because she's like upset that he's about to die or whatever.
Next day, that little nigga died.
Right. Well, funny because the longest for me, Tokyo, I didn't think Tokyo was a female. I was just like, oh, it's a dude the whole time. Like,
bro,
what
I
is
said
going
the
on?
same
I was
thing.
like, what's going on here?
I'm
man?
watching
This is-
Tokyo in the bed with Kona.
Yeah.
Man, she holding her chest. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
was like,
I'm
what?
literally watching the show. I literally put in my notes like, when did Tokyo get titties? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, what's going on? I'm like, so we got a body switch. Now we got male characters and female parts. I'm like, so nothing is as what it seems now. Nobody's gender can be assumed in this show. I don't know you know what I mean? Like, it really threw me off until, you feel me, Jordan told me, like, well, in the sub, you can tell by her voice characteristics a bit more obvious. Yeah. And then I think from that point on, I started watching it in the sub, and I was like, okay, I can see. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but at first, that was throwing me off, because like, Tokyo was cool. I thought Tokyo was like who Maru was looking for. As far as somebody with his face, I figured, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, like, oh, okay, that's, you know what I mean, the counterpart they're looking for or whatever. And I just thought it was like another kid, like, running around, you know what I mean? Those things.
Yeah.
We get to see the Maru touch in action again this episode.
Oh, the fish.
Yeah, they like had a fish chase him to like the bottom floor of the boat. And he gets dried up by all the marijuana at the bottom of the boat.
That was
Finish him with the Maru touch.
Yeah. I see you guys got this ganja down here.
Right.
So they gotta be having the Zah. I think it's in the bottom.
Right.
I kind of question at this point, like, where the especially when we see the babies, like, are the man eaters man made?
Yeah.
Instead it's just like something natural.
Yeah.
Question. I think we see Mina in this episode, and it's like this big
4?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we see Mina in this episode. So I'm like, are these aliens or something? Like, aliens have come down, and the man eaters are aliens, and the school is like revolving around Mina. So maybe that's like the mother of the aliens, and they're like just doing her bidding or whatever to survive. It's kind of something I thought of.
Mina, who's Mina again?
The AI, like the AI computer that like her
frame
body was the
of
compound.
school,
Like
yeah.
when they had the little emergency go off, the director literally was like, the compound is your body, so like why was there a false alarm? And she literally told her like, because if you thought you was sick and you went to the doctor wouldn't ask you. You feel me? What exactly is wrong with you in your body because you're sick? You would just tell the doctor, like, nigga, I'm sick. I don't know. Type shit. So that's when I kind of put two together. Like, oh, so it must be her, like, you know what I mean, system that's, like, running everything. In which, you know, it makes sense as far as the cameras and robots and all that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But they called her Mina. I guess her name was Mina.
Cool.
We get Taro at the end of this episode tells Tokyo run away.
Yep. Tells her
Oh,
it's
yeah,
safe.
yeah, runaways ain't safe, yeah. And you see, what's dude's name? We found out, well, we talked about this before podcast, but he was talking to an old girl in her room, and he pulled her off to the side in the classroom, just like, yeah, the pictures.
Oh, yeah, Shiro.
Yeah,
Shiro,
yeah, I wrote that down. I'm like, dang, she a bop? She's sending nudes? I'm like,
Yeah, I did kind of put, like, why do they have tablets? Like,
Yeah.
they're not going anywhere. They all know each other was really the point of the tablets. But we did see Shiro working on, like, computers in the first episode. So I guess maybe they gave him that to, like, help him, like, study more into that, like, technology aspect of himself.
Wow.
But yeah, that was an interesting scene because it, like, we see again, it's like a glitch where he checks later
and it's gone.
and it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. But again, that still fits into my theory.
Yeah, I'm more talking about the dialogue he had with her in that cutoff room where Tokyo's like just eavesdropping in.
Yeah.
And you just hear him just saying it weird. So I'm like, all
And
right,
she says,
you see-
like, she didn't send it.
yeah.
Like, man, take away. Y'all ready for 5? Or y'all got anything else for 4?
He was on that fooly cooly in that room. I think about it.
That's what I'm saying.
He was
I
on that
just
fooly
like,
cooly in there. He said, "Man, I want to hold you and lick you." And she said, "You want to eat me?"
Right.
He
Not
like,
that.
nah. something like that, but not like that exactly.
You're right. All right. I just wrote down perverted dude wants to make love.
Yeah.
He said perverted dude wants to make love. Hell no.
All right, episode 5. I got we get more of Maru's backstory as Maru and Haruki try to evade thugs that they met during a brawl in the arcade and at the new town that they get to after getting off the boat. Meanwhile, at the school, the children grieve the death of Taro, while the higher-ups try to come up with a cure for the mysterious disease. All right, episode 5. I said definitely starting with this episode, I was way less, after the body swap thing, way less interested in the storyline of the outside world with Maru and Haruki. And especially now with things starting to kind of like pick up with stuff at the school. Now we have like a mysterious death of one of the students. I like the arcade fight scene. It was kind of weird at first because they're like just watching him play the game, and then somebody just randomly just like get on that with him and start talking shit, and then
I kind of knew
the whole fight breaks out.
I don't know. I kind of like knew they was gonna be on shit just because of I don't know. It kind of seemed cliche, like you said, like bro, he playing this lame ass game in the arcade. Like why would you? You know what I mean? Like if I seen somebody playing Donkey Kong in the arcade, I wouldn't walk up like, hey man, but I seen as they was talking to him, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely on some bullshit. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of clever how they was helping their friend in the fight. Like, basically, you feel me? Basically, Morrow had like kicked him, knocked him down, and then they was like, dang, bro, you gonna kick him when he down? You not gonna help him up? And then when he went over there to help him up, that's when bro like, all right, I get up there hand now. I thought that was kind of fried, but. Other than that, also in this episode, we hear the director, like when they were talking about the disease, she basically says like, these kids have bodies that are built to be immune to everything. So that kind of added to the mystery of like, what is this disease and why is it affecting them? And that kind of confirmed for me like, okay, so these kids are experiments of some sort. Like they have been, you know what I mean? They're not like somebody's kids, or you know what I mean, like they got to be like either lab grown or like cloned, or you feel me? At that point, it kind of confirmed for me that like, all right, now we looking at kind of like some supernatural, like sci-fi extra shit going on with these kids. They're not just because up until that point, I figured like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I really thought that the kids were just regular, and you know what I mean. Maybe they were doing some experiments, or like maybe the stuff they was feeding them or stuff they were doing to them was making them, you know what I mean? They were like kind of maybe trying to see like how the stuff they were giving to them was affecting them, but I thought they were regular kids and they were just like growing or cloning man-eaters and just letting them motherfuckers loose.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that maybe the reason like people, because we had already kind of got context as to like the man-eaters being previous humans, so I'm like, okay, maybe they're in here, they're trying to like restart humanity.
Right.
The people on the outside are falling victim to a disease that's turning them into the man-eaters. So for humanity to continue, we have to basically create a new breed of humans that would be a new breed of humans that would be immune to the disease that's basically ended the world as we know it. And then once we've perfected this formula to make humans that are immune to this, we can basically let them out and repopulate the world. We get more Maru backstory here. We see like him talking about he was born the same year as the disaster. By the time he was like 2 or 3, he was like in an orphanage. Eventually they leave the orphanage. He gets picked up by like a gang and joins a gang for a little bit until I think was it like the gang leader dies or the person that was watching him before him?
Yeah, the turf war
okay.
died, and then
and then that's when he runs into Mikura, who is the one with the gun, and basically like sets them out on this mission that we see them on in the present.
Yeah. Then you see Haruki. I mean, I wrote down this episode, you see a glimpse of her being alone again after she losing a Robin and everybody else at the orphanage she came from, and she was just searching for Maru. And you see that expression on her face was like, oh man, I'm about to be alone again. Even though she's a bodyguard, she's doing this for hire, but she still had that, human nature. Attached to somebody. That's just something I just noted down there. Just caught my eye.
She got to bugging. Like he even said, like, bro, you was you all right? Like,
Right.
I'm
just next door.
She got to really, like, and that, I ain't gonna lie, that was proof for me that, like, okay, their relationship is, you know what I mean, beginning to be, like, the bond they're building is more than just, like, I'm your bodyguard and this is just a job. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, because at this point, I'm like, because, yeah, you got the gun, but I'm like, because you either already got paid or you're not expecting to get paid. I'm like, because she's gone, so you don't have nobody to report to. Like, if he was to just up and leave you one day, like, all right, I don't need your help, I'm going to go. Like, because if you really didn't care about him, you really wouldn't care because there are no repercussions to not finishing the mission, basically.
Right.
So once I seen her kind of bugging out and panicking, I was like, oh, okay, so she, you know what I mean? They really are building some sort of, like, friendship or bond past just, oh, I'm just his bodyguard or, you know what I mean? We just traveling together, like, it's more than that now. So.
Yeah. I definitely got the question, like, are they really even care about their objectives? Like, yeah, she's still having, one search for the two people, and Mario got missions set up, but now we're just getting to the, later on to the series, we're seeing that they kind of actually don't care about that as long as they stay together and they just go towards the same goal, because they're just working off of each other. One's got each other back while the other one's just doing their own thing. Right. So I thought I like their relationship in the show. I don't know how you guys feel, but I definitely. The only thing that kept me going in the show is just their relationship. It's just their funny moments that they have for me. Yeah, I know you got your mix about it, but that's just for me. Yeah, I the facility, everything going on there. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, I was still going for a loop, trying to connect the dots on that.
It started off cool,
Yeah, but I mean, so far, I kind of just like their fun. I just like the funny moments in it.
I feel like their relationship was. I'm not gonna lie, and like I said, like which is why a main reason why I said I feel like the body swap stuff kind of didn't really have a lot of relevance to the story or to me personally is because right before they told us that. I thought Kirikou was just Kirikou. You feel me? The girl who lost her brother. You feel me? Their relationship was already, you feel me, building. They were already showing us this friendship. You feel me? They bonding, they getting along. Yep. Then after that, you feel me? Unless it was like them, unless it was Maru and them specifically having a conversation where he's, you know what I mean, saying something and she's like, bro, I'm a dude. You know what I mean? Like their relationship, their interactions, like everything, that really didn't hold a lot of weight to me. Like I said, like if they weren't bringing it up, I literally could have forgotten it and could have, you know what I mean? And would have had the same feelings about everything else in the show. Like if it wasn't them bringing it up, because I'm telling you, it's multiple times, I forgot until she said something and I'm like, damn. This is supposed to be a dude body swapped into his sister's body, but like before, like other than that, you feel me? I'm like, cause they're just you know what I mean? They're just two people like traveling, interacting, like they're you know what I mean? They're obviously gonna build a relationship or a bond, like you know what I mean? If it had been any other combination of ages or whatever the case may be, you give me two characters and you put them on a journey, I'm going to assume they're going to build some type of bond. Like,
regardless.
You know what I mean? Right. So. Yeah, I feel like that shit was kind of inconsequential.
Just me or just a sub. After we find out that it's actually Haruki in the body, the voice dialogues, it feels less feminine to me. Like I almost felt like the voice sounded deeper.
So do you think it was a different voice actor, or you think the voice actor was doing something different?
Deeper, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying the English because it was like I said I literally could have forgot that they had said that.
It's funny you point that out because I was trying to pinpoint that is the voice pitch is gonna be different because they reveal the I'm actually a boy.
To me, it felt like it was, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'm gonna say maybe in the sub. Man, hey, it might have just been that, you know what I mean, that more like in depth and that much more better that was something that was easily picked up on, but because it wasn't in English, I feel like that shit was really inconsequential for real.
Yeah. I was definitely getting confused even after the body swap. I'm just like trying to read the subtitles and the dialogue, just like, okay, because Maru would keep referring Haruki as she.
As she or sis.
Like, all right, he... just how it's going on through this whole show. It's just throwing me for a loop.
Right.
I just thought it was funny. And that's also just add to the relationship in my opinion because he even asking like, do you want me to call you by your name or just keep calling you sis?
Right.
And Haruki just like call me whatever, but he just kept calling sis. I'm like, okay, so I see what's this going.
Yeah, we see the footprint in the incubation room get discovered. Takeo leaves like a footprint on the wall when they leave, and I'm immediately like,
It's a wrap.
they in uniform. Like everybody got the same shoe. Like what is the footprint really going to tell them if they all wearing the same shoes basically? We learn from the director basically throws out there that this is the second child that's died at the school. We get the first mention in this episode of the Immortal Order, which comes up in like the following couple episodes. I questioned if maybe the kids at the school were like some sort of half human, half man eater, like a bioweapon type thing. Maybe that's what they were made for. But that's what I really had going out of episode 5.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was a wrap.
This was 5.
That was 5. Yeah.
But I definitely thought
I
it was
remember it was
fun.
the end of 5 right around.
It was like third quarter.
I definitely thought it was definitely funny. They got all that technology and shit like that, but they didn't have like anything to rewind the cameras to see who footprint that was or anything like that. They were kind of just like, yeah, there's an intruder. It
I
happened.
think the cameras got blocked again in that
Yeah,
scene.
it was.
But was it that specific one? Because I remember they went to the wrong room at first. I don't know if it was just because.
No.
So I think the
door.
false alarm was literally like the AI, because I literally wrote like, I think on the next episode I literally wrote like, okay, so the AI is altering the footage to help the kids sneak around. Because, like, after they're in the room, that's, like, what, the second or third time we see the footage get altered. And then I just figured, like, with the false alarm, the computer system did that to, you know what I mean, kind of draw attention away from that area and to tell them, you know what I mean, to basically be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, y'all not supposed to be in here. Y'all in here a little too long. You feel me? So, because, like what Jordan said, like, I seen they all was in uniform. I thought the footprint would just be proof of, like, okay, nigga, these kids are sneaking around and we're not catching, like, the camera isn't working. Like, this is proof that these niggas are sneaking around and we're not catching it type shit. Because, you know what I mean? Like you said, the glitch in the footage, like, they would show you something and would instantly show you the camera and you would not see the same thing on the camera. And I'm like, okay, so something's going on. Like, somebody's altering this footage. Yeah.
All right, ready for 6?
Yes, sir.
All right. They got Haruki and Maru fight off a bear attack before eventually spending the night with the King of Hotels.
Yeah, that was the funniest episode.
Haruki is crazy. That's Kiriko all the way. I ain't gonna lie.
That's Haruki.
Yes, Kiriko. That's Kiriko all the way. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man, yeah, episode 6 was hilarious, man. I wrote down Maru attempts to kill monster, which is actually a wild bear, and then it was just a funny reaction, just like him yelling at Kuriki, like I was right here at the bear's face, man. You had me go down and kill it, you know.
Yeah, he tries to use a Maru touch, and they figure out it's not a man.
Right, it's like just a
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
He was hungry though.
Yeah,
and skinny as hell.
Maru had like a little horny moment too after Haruki was like, trying to play the feminine role.
Right.
Like, see, I'll let you touch my boobs. And my man just like, I'll go right down there real quick.
I said,
let's stop talking.
Yeah, man, I was
I
like,
put a big pause. I was like, hold on.
Right. I was like, oh, my bad. Maru was like, okay, that was fried.
I think it was cool. I thought it was very like I said, I thought it was very realistic, and I thought this episode showed another instance of like the world being well thought of and like built out. Like basically when she was explaining how they got tricked by the map seller and the bandits, and she was basically saying like the map seller had to be in on it. Like, you know what I mean? She like, we got there, it wasn't clean water. You feel me? And the way it was set up, you feel me? She's like, cause they could have just barricaded us in there and then, you know what I mean, attacked us or ambushed us or whatever the case may be. So I thought that was just another instance of like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like they're making the world and the people that live in the world very real, to the point where, you know what I mean? Like I would figure like at that time in this post-apocalyptic world, that is something you should be on the lookout for. And it was nice to see our main characters kind of explain it, like they got us, they tricked us, this is how, and this, you know what I mean, this is the kind of the thought process of, I'm like, okay, damn, that shit do make sense. Like, so yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they buy the map off somebody and they go to where on the map is like designated like safe or great cleaning drinking water, and it's just like it's just like an underground flooded parking garage. It's like, wow, okay, this is kind of shady.
Yeah, I thought the little girl was in on it. The one that we now know later as king of the hotel. I thought she was in on it.
Which low key she was though. She was, because think about it, because the people they found in the parking garage were part of the bandits. She literally said, like, that is the owner. She was like, that is our boss of our bandit group. That nigga died. They was in there waiting for them, and a bear was in there. And the bear just happened to get on their ass. You know what I mean? Really? Like, if the bear wasn't in there, they would have walked down into them two niggas, and somebody probably would have blocked the end. That's what I was thinking. Like, after she said that, and she was like, oh, well, that was our boss, and y'all brought him back, and he died. You feel me? I'm like, damn, bitch, well, you was cool with the people that would have robbed us or ambushed us type shit. Because they was already there. And like we said, like, if that's not a safe place to be, niggas is in the area, why the fuck would you be there? You know what I mean? Like, why would we be heading to the same place that you already at, and this is the perfect place for an ambush, and you not trying to ambush us? That don't make sense. So, yeah, I just kind of figured, like, they was all in cahoots. And then after she called bro the boss, I'm like, yeah, well, that nigga just happened to fall into misfortune while he was waiting to ambush some niggas.
Yeah, but you could argue that if she knew that, she could have been like, oh, just stay in the hotel for a little bit and call the goons back. Yeah. I don't think she was in on it.
Well, and especially then you also got to think that she wasn't expecting them to come back, because when they came back, she was like, well, do y'all want to sell some of y'all stuff? You feel me? Because what did she say? She was like, leave y'all stuff here and take out valuables with y'all. So, you feel me? I just took it as like a ploy. Like, hey, trust me, your shit cool. But in the grand scheme of things, if her boss is waiting to be ambushed them niggas would have got ambushed, robbed. They would have came back and been like, all right, nigga, let's take the rest of that shit. And you know what I mean? Like, because they all in cahoots.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going. Especially how the episode ended, where she was like, "Yeah, they already left. They're long gone." If she was in cahoots, really want them gone, she could have been like, "Yeah, they went that way." Yeah, I don't think she had any. I can see why you would think that, but I don't think they had any.
Yeah, because we do get that scene where they come by the hotel and they got the picture and they're looking for Maru because they want revenge from getting beat up at the arcade.
Right.
But I can see where you come up with that theory, but I feel like it's probably less likely, because I feel like something that simple, we probably would have got more of a concrete confirmation type scene that she was with them.
I can see it.
It's like at that point, why not?
And that's another thing too, is I don't know, because you're basically saying the group that they beat up at the arcade was the bandits that was with the map seller. I didn't know that. I thought it was just, you feel me? I thought they had just bought like, I thought they had just ran into a nigga that was selling, you know what I mean? That was in cahoots with somebody else that was selling bullshit maps, and that was part of their scheme. So, you feel me? When they basically was like, well, this is our boss, and we found him down there, I thought that was, you know what I mean, the group that was with the map seller. I didn't think that those were like separate people, separate groups, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even think about the arcade niggas no more. I was like, nigga, they're gone. They died.
The they're talking about, like, he want his ones back against
right.
Hey, watch out, bro, because he's crazy with the hands.
Right.
You may not want that ones back.
Yeah.
We see Ashura's ghost in this episode in like a visionist thing, so we can still kind of see there's lingering power from him, where he still kind of has some type of influence. I just also put like why are the cams delayed? That kind of goes into my theory for later.
Yeah, I think no one touched on it. The Maru Touch actually worked on the King of Hotels.
She was a Hiraku.
I was like, she like a half man-eater or something. But we now kind of know we could just assume that she was probably one of the kids from the thing who just maybe hadn't turned yet.
The
kids from school.
Or it might have been like a kid of one of them or something. You know what I mean? Like a kid of one of the parents or something. Yeah. Because looking back, that's what I thought. Looking back, I was like, oh damn, maybe she, you know what I mean? Like maybe she's a man eater too or something.
Wait, which character?
The hotel owner. Remember, she basically grabbed his hand and put it on her breast, and then that nigga almost like touched her heart with the Maru touch, and that's when he held her down and was like, "Hey, sis, come here," and then they kind of had explained that. Well, I wasn't on that. But,
okay, I ain't caught that. No, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, that was a surprise scene. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I did for nice tits, bitch.
It was a surprise scene.
I said, if I was Maru, I'm paying the $800K. Yeah, no about y'all. I'm like, this girl a dude now? Yeah, I think I do need some stress relief. I ain't gonna lie.
It was a surprise scene. I was just like, bro, I had to rewind it. I was just like, what's the context of this?
Theo just looked up like, whoa.
Like, how did this get here again? But yeah, that was pretty. It was pretty fried. I did note down Kiriko feeling a little confident after he can be of use again, because Maru was pretty much giving him the rundown. It's like, hey, like, I know I can be able to do all this stuff just because you can't. But, you know, Haruki had like a little flashback with Robin saying that, hey, you know, you leave you out of this fight because we really don't need you. It's too dangerous. But now Kiriko kind of get the confidence back, hearing from Maru, judging from their journey they have up to this point.
Right.
Did you get a hint that Maru is from the facility where Kiriko's like, yeah, I'm not, most humans are like that. They can't jump down like a 30-foot building on their foot without being hurt. Like that. There's like a lot of hints that he's possibly got some tie to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was when he had grew that tooth back or something.
No.
Like one of them had knocked his tooth out. I don't think it was this episode, but you feel me? Like once I seen that, and she was like, "Bro, like, why does your body work like that? Like most people can't grow back teeth." That's when I was like, "Okay, bro, he's probably a Iraku because there's no like, I know, nigga, if I lose a teeth now as a 24-year-old man, that motherfucker's not coming back. Like I don't have no baby teeth." Right. So you know what I mean? When I seen that, I was like, "Yeah, that nigga's definitely not." Even though he got the powers, you feel me? I'm like, this kind of confirmed. Like this,
especially since like it wasn't even like he got his tooth knocked out. It just get chipped. It just got chipped.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. It wasn't even all the way gone. It was just
nothing's really supposed to come back.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, y'all ready for 7?
Let's get it.
I got Maru and Haruki. Haruki meet with a group called Livyumen, a group opposed to the Immortal Order. The Livyumen group create a distraction so that Maru and Haruki can infiltrate the Immortal Order's basement and kill the man-eater that is rumored to live in the basement. All right. I like the kind of fake out that they have at the beginning of this episode where the Immortal Order see Maru and them having like the bonfire in the middle of the street.
Right.
And the dude's like the mysterious doctor at that time is like,
bring them to me.
Yeah, bring them to me. And then we do see people approach them, but then it's a trick.
Turned out to be,
It's a switcheroo, and it turns out it's like an anti-group of the Immortal Order.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I think Maru has said something in this episode about like he thought they was getting set up, and then I kind of felt that from the beginning because, like I said, like we had seen, you feel me? It was like the mysterious doctor had said like bring him to me, but when they were talking to him, and they had, you feel me? She had showed them the picture like, is this the doc? And they like, no, that's not Dr. Usumi. I'm like, you feel me? Then they like, man, we don't even mess with Dr. Usumi or the Immortal Order. I'm like, these niggas definitely lying. Yeah. Like, you feel me? I thought they was going to send him in the basement into an ambush or something like. Yeah, you feel me? That'd be like a lot of soldiers or motherfuckers waiting for him to like capture him, whatever the case may be. But I definitely thought they was full of shit. I ain't gonna lie. Because they seemed too goofy, bruh. And then like, you know what I mean? As they was doing the little pep rally and shit, like listening to what she was saying, I'm like, cuz this doesn't even make sense for you, your character, the group of characters around you, or the setting you're in. I'm like, bro, y'all need all the help y'all can get. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're talking about away with technology and machines. Nah, y'all niggas need power and shit. I don't care what leg they took from you, nigga. That's just basic common sense. Like, you need infrastructure. So, I don't know.
She just like, basically the leader of their order is like, oh, I've been there before. I went to go get like some regular work done.
Right.
And then they just cut off my leg anyways and gave me like this little...
metal leg.
Right.
Right.
Just amputated my leg and give me the little... the little tink thing.
Now we see her ass was really capping. She just wasn't happy with her leg.
Right, or just like exaggerated her experience and kind of like started this mass hysteria, which would give rise to this group where they were like literally well-intentioned, but they're just like confused because they think like there's like human experimentation going on, like some Nazi stuff going on inside this facility, which is crazy because I feel like why? Because the later episode we see that that's obviously not the case. Exactly. I'm just like, why didn't somebody go down there and explain to them like, you know, why y'all hating on us? This is what's really going on. Yeah. If you don't believe us, you can come inside and see whatever. But they need a plot for the episode, so it is what it is. The hypno scene when they go into the basement and then see the man eater.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, definitely a trippy episode.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so all the man eaters really do have like random abilities.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Or even just like they makeup. Like when I seen, you know what I mean, that I guess that man either had like the metal like mouth or whatever. And I feel like the ones before this we had seen just kind of like dissolve people. You know what I mean? Like you touch them and it just kind of like slowly dissolve. Like the one that ate Haruki at first. Yeah. So I kind of thought all the main would be like that. But once I seen that one kind of chomping away her ass, I was like, oh, okay. Like, oh, shit. Like this. I thought the design of it was cool. But I also like, you know what I mean? I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, why is she hallucinating? But the shit in the hallucination wasn't making sense. I'm like, nigga, now at all times, this nigga Maru not saying nothing. He's not fighting back. He ain't bust a move. He ain't trying to jump around. I knew something was off, but shit, hey, the way it was going, the blood I was seeing, man, hey, they bit Shorty's arm off. Hey. Man, then they built like the top of her foot off. I'm like, oh yeah, this is getting gory. I'm like, yeah, she's done.
Hey, the whole time I'm thinking, Maru's gonna come in any minute. Now he's gonna come. You just see him face
down. Bro, he down. I'm like, oh yeah, it's over.
For real?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it's
because I'm thinking, all right, somebody's gonna come here eventually, right? And then you just see just the chomp just going down your more, just snap. I'm like, oh, it's over. Like they for real done here.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then you see the hallucinating, and you see Maru like, hey. Are you all right? You was just tripping. You was shooting everywhere. You was yelling.
Right.
Like, what's going on with you? Like, all right. So, but then he also mentioned like you was also yelling at Robin. And I guess he kind of like hit hard home. Like,
he had attitude
like,
with
you
that.
didn't yell my name or anything like that.
But at the same time, and even that I thought was dumb because I'm like, nigga, I just watched her have a hallucination. She called your name like 5 times. You didn't get up, bro. You didn't do anything. Like,
no.
I'm like, nigga, if that was me and I'm traveling with somebody because I call your name 4 or 5 times because you're not helping me at that point, I'm calling mama, your nigga daddy, God, I'm calling for anybody other than you. You're not helping. Like, you're not moving.
Again, I had to put another pause in my notes because, like y'all saying, he gets jealous because he's like, oh, you were asking for Robin to save you. I could have saved you, but she obviously explains to him like in my, in the little sequence I was seeing, you was already, done.
Yeah. Right.
You was out. Yeah. I was just pause.
Yeah, I'm like, why did you? And then he kissed her. I'm like, so she shooting the guns. Yeah. I'm like, so she having a seizure, and your first thought was, let me kiss her.
That was Friday. I was just like, what the hell?
That was me. Maybe I'm yelling your name. Maybe I'm shaking you. Maybe I'm smacking you, but kissing you, I'm not gonna think to do that. I'm not gonna think that's gonna help somebody out of it.
That's okay. That was like the last thing that he did. I feel like how long the hallucination went.
He's gonna see her.
I don't know how long.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
saying. The other
it was a minute. Yeah, her ass was bugging. So.
Okay.
And she was down there about to die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if she would have died of her hallucination, maybe she would have actually died. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Just from the heart rate going crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, Tsukiyomi.
Right. Y'all got anything else for 7?
No, really.
Alright, let's get into 8. 8.
Part 1, 8.
Right. Because in 8, man, we get Maru and Haruki help Dr. Usami put a small girl to rest. That basically takes up the majority of this episode.
Yeah.
At the start, we kind of see tensions rising with the anti-group. They're down at the bottom, and obviously we know that they're enacting their plan to kind of distract them while Maru and them sneak into the basement.
Throwing rocks and shit.
Right.
Killing the leader.
We get the reveal here that this disease is what turns them into a man-eater. We see that the quote-unquote human experiments are basically just Dr. Usami either helping people who need a prosthetic, or if, like, I thought maybe some of the people maybe had the disease, so he's, like, lopping off body parts to, like, stop the disease from spreading and then giving them a prosthetic.
Yeah.
He does say, though, after that, unfortunately, like, even if he does that, sometimes the disease can still come back or spread to another part of the body.
And then he was like, you just got to keep trying.
Right.
Like, it's no cure, so, yeah.
See the antis, like, start to kind of move into the bottom of the building. or at least we're shown that. We don't really see much of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we
they
see
really
them
like,
evacuate.
they showed them like chilling, like where the patients were. They showed them in that room, like at a fire, like chilling. So I figured, like, okay, they done took this motherfucker over.
Yeah, like at the very end.
Right.
At first, I thought it was gonna be like a scene because we seen them kind of like storm the bottom.
Right.
I thought it was gonna be a scene where like they go in there and they start beating the shit out of everybody. But instead, we just get like a scene of everybody evacuating, and it doesn't really go that route. Maru does the Maru touch, kills the patient after they like wheel her out to she wants to see the sky one last time, so they wheel her out to the window.
Yeah. And you see Maru having that guilt that he has that realization that his hands pretty much taking lives of people, even this patient, unfortunately.
And that comes up later,
Yeah, the hierarchy's pretty much riding on him. It was like, yeah, your lives, your hand take away these lives to protect these people, you know. So it's not like you're just doing it just out of like evil spite. You know, you're actually doing good for the people.
For the betterment.
They're still alive.
Yeah, for the betterment.
Because you might have killed one person that, you know, was a man-eater but was previously a person. Mm-hmm. But by killing that man-eater, you possibly stopping the man-eater from taking hundreds of more human lives.
Yeah. Dr. Dasami getting painted as this villain, you know, like you said in episode 7 now. I wrote down he's like 50-50 character for me. I forgot why I did that, but I think it's because just the description that was given him was like, yeah, he seemed like this evil doctor that just chop off body parts. I asked him what your point was, you know, just to stop the spread. People turn to man-eaters and fund this disease. But and also in that same light, you see him sacrifice his eye for a patient that he has that we learn out later in the episode.
Yes, I kind of predicted that when I seen it because I was like, he got one eye, she got one eye. Maybe he gave her, you know, his eye, and she obviously reveals that in like the last little thank you message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty dope to me when I seen that.
Yeah.
I think as far as like the white coats or the living human group or whatever, I think it was kind of interesting seeing just like the deterioration of their group and like their philosophy, like, you know what I mean, like they were following the lady as far as like being non-peaceful and like non-violent, and just, or even like the guy was telling them before they went in, like, yeah, we just want to talk to him. We just need this secret weapon to be gone so they'll listen to us so we can have a civil conversation with them. And then, you know what I mean, next thing we know, I'm like, cause y'all forcing innocent people out of their crib. And then when they get in there, you feel me? It's like bro's mission wasn't even righteous. Like they didn't show them looking room to room. Like, oh, where's the people they was hiding? Where's the experiments? That nigga got in there and took his coat off and was like, yeah, man, all this power, man, this nice location. Yeah. I'm like, so I just thought that was kind of like an interesting, like, commentary on just, I don't know, just kind of how, like, almost like mob mentality, you feel me? Like how a group of people, especially in a setting like that, could like you say, like get the wrong idea about like somebody just helping people, or even that, like even how Shorty was so wrong about like, man, they got somebody in hella pieces and they asking to be killed. But I'm like, bro, when we seen her, he like, bro, I'm explaining this is the disease. This is why she misses so many body parts. She still can see and hear and communicate with people. Yeah. It's like, cause it's what they have going on. Like the reality of the situation was nothing of how they were explaining it or how that entire group of people perceived it to be. So I just thought that was interesting and like, you know what I mean, kind of like a side commentary. Like, damn, like it's crazy how a group of people can, I mean, have such a wrong idea and then, like, you feel me, like I said, like, kick innocent people out of they shelter and then literally showed the patients and shit, like, as a group, like, huddled up, like, you know what I mean, on the streets, like, trying to stay warm and shit. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, because you didn't see some of the people that was living there under Dr. Usami, you know, just, like, praising him. It was like, hey, man, something was wrong with my arm. Can you fix it? He just looked at it, like, put some WD-40 on it, whatever. You see all these people coming up to him, like, looking up to him, like, hey, you gave me a second chance in life. I could have been dead in the street. So it just gave another details. All right, they was wrong about him. Wherever they was spewing just lies or just false or whatever. And then he even said in the show, it's like this building was made for this patient, for her to live. That's why I got all these generators for her to just live off this life support. And
it was crazy. He literally was like, all the facilities here was made for her.
Yeah.
Everybody else we helped was just kind of like, nigga, we was able to help y'all, but
yeah, he even explained to her at the end of the episode, before I get to that point, that, you know, hey, people just coming up to me like, hey, can you fix me up or whatever? And because the patient liked seeing him fix things that was like robotics or pretty much, and he was just doing that constantly, just getting more people, the followers. Yeah. And he even explained, like, before he passed in the episode, that he was like, I'm not even a doctor to begin with. This was just like a little hobby of mine that I was actually good at. Right. So that was probably like another nice touch.
Like, it made her happy when I like worked on stuff and helped people out, and I was working on creating things. Mm-hmm. At the end, after he does pass, we get a sign that he is, at least in some way, was connected to the school and the dome because he has the button. He drops the button, and the button has the same logo as the gun that we've also seen like at the school from like the little board meetings and stuff they have. We see the logo there. Obviously, of course, on a deeper level, it becomes like proof to us that he was Shiro from the school, and that was probably Mimi Hime that he was with, because obviously we see later on in like the very last episode, she gives him the button off of her jacket.
Right. Yeah, like I said, like that settling in, I felt like was like something that you feel me? Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, that was something that you feel me, just kind of like, I don't know, that shit kind of went over my head. Like watching it, I was, you know what I mean? And like I said, I feel like talking, you know, feel me, off podcast, off camera, it was a lot of like, I guess like loose ends, or you know what I mean? Like it was a lot of like loose threads or loose ends in the plot that I didn't fully understand, but after like talking and kind of getting that filled in, I've come to appreciate the plot more because, like you said, that like I never thought that to be Shiro, but after hearing all that and getting all the information, I'm like, damn, that kind of explains to me why he was acting the way he was, because I did kind of feel like, damn, this nigga helping people, but I'm like, cause this nigga is hella cold, like period. You feel me? When they first show him to us. He's behind the curtain. He's, you know what I mean? He seems creepy, so it gives kind of like justification to what the Living Human group is saying. Mm-hmm. But once we see him interact, like, you know what I mean, with Mimi Hime and the other patients, it's kind of like, damn, he did all this to help them, even though he's not like fully engaging with them, and he, you know what I mean, kind of came off annoyed, like, bro, let's get out of here. They gonna keep asking questions if we stay. But still, I was thinking like, nigga, you might be annoyed, but nigga, you did give all these people prosthetics. Like, you did help these people. So you are a nice person. Like, you do care deep down, whether you're not the most warm or welcoming or, you know what I mean, might have the biggest personality. And now that you say that, I'm like, cause that is how bro was acting. Like, I could see how, you know what I mean? Like, all that, those dots are starting to connect now.
Yeah. Even when the people was like, man, why we gotta get kicked out of our place, man?
Right, yeah, they literally was like, why we gotta leave? They said, bro, come on, bro. Come on.
Right.
They killing niggas outside, man.
Right.
All right, y'all got anything else for 8? No. All right, 9. We get the backstory of Ashura and Kona, the other, obviously the other kid that died at the school. Meanwhile, the higher ups realize that Tokyo is pregnant. Maru and Haruki meet up with a traveling story salesman named Juichi. All right.
First, I definitely wrote down my first note. Like, goddamn alien showing up.
Yeah, I was like, Ashura alien?
Yeah. When I had first seen her in like episode 6, I literally put ghost alien haunting compound. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I seen it. I was just like,
but just how they described her, as far as like I remember the director had said something like, her body was like her brain was, I guess, had too much power for her body or whatever. So I don't know. I like, me personally, my personal theory was like, okay, that must be like Mina. Like the AI tried to fully like give itself, you know what I mean? Like fully give itself a full body, like with all its faculties and knowledge, and it was just too much to the point where, you know what I mean, it, I don't know, went insane or, you know what I mean, whatever. Like after they said that, I'm like, okay, damn, maybe that's what it was, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I had Ashura, Queen of the Man-Eaters, turns Kona's drawings into reality, maybe. That's what I thought. Because even back then, he was doing the drawings. This is where my theory kind of comes in with the cameras. I thought that Ashura was probably blocking the cameras, because we see in the scene where he like unalives himself that the cameras are blocked even in that scene, as he like floats out over the balcony up to the roof.
And he
No,
he's talking to Kona.
Kona?
He's talking to
okay.
Kona.
Oh, okay.
And Kona like kind of has like a feeling that something's going wrong, so he goes out there, and Ashura tells Kona like, you know, you have this love for me as a friend, but you need to like open up your heart to like a different type of love and accept that. And like I know what my purpose is for here, and I'm basically he's not gonna like let them use him as, you know, for whatever purpose they want to. So he does that, and I'm kind of like, okay, so Ashura is kind of like manipulating with like this presence that he still has the kids into these into something where they like reproduce, like manipulating them into reproducing. So the nude that Shiro gets, Ashura sent that to kind of plant that in his mind. Obviously going along with what he tells Kona about, like, you know, experiencing this new type of love. We see when Kona and Tokyo meet up, they like leave their rooms at night and meet up in each other's room. Again, we see the cameras are blocked. And the only other time, like, the oldest flashback we have of seeing cameras get blocked are in this scene with Ashura unaliving himself. So I'm like, and we see his ghost. So I'm like, okay, this is like him using his powers that he used back then to block the cameras. Now we see, obviously, him block the cameras when they go and see the babies. But just like really with all this stuff, because we know it's not the school and it's not Mina, because they're kind of like on the same wavelength. So it must be Ashura who's kind of like planting these seeds into the children's minds to like, hey, y'all need to reproduce. For whatever reason, y'all reproducing is going to be the answers to this problem. To foil the school's plans. So he's trying to kind of like manipulate things from the shadows and plant these seeds into the minds of the children and block the cameras when need be to help facilitate, you know, such things happening.
But even with that, I would say then, I don't know, because the only reason I thought it was Mina was because like you said, the cameras are glitching. You feel me? They show us there's a boardroom of cameras. There's people watching these motherfuckers. You feel me? But it's like, okay, if they glitching out, you feel me? So I'm like, it's gotta be beyond the point of their control to do it. And then also with the very end, like, you feel me, the last couple episodes, as far as the robots coming to them, like, hey, bro, y'all Hiraki, bro, get ready to go to the outside, bro. One final test. I'm like, cause that literally would be the best way. That would be the best way to manipulate these kids without making them panic as to, you know what I mean, what's going on. Like, hey, bro, we might have to leave. Y'all might have to go do your own, you know what I mean? Y'all might have to go survive and do your own thing. So with that being the case, like, once I heard it from the robots, I thought, like, oh, shit, like, you feel me? I thought, like, oh, Mina is, you know what I mean, corrupted. But now that you're saying that, I'm like, shit, maybe Ashura somehow integrated himself into Mina or some way, you know what I mean? So,
because we do see there's kind of like a divide even within the school where this is what the director wants, this is what Mina wants, but we see, obviously, later we get brung up the Noah plan, that there is like this conglomerate of teachers who are like, okay, we got a different plan for the kids, you know, disparate from what the director and what Mina may want. And I just thought like the scenes you're referring to later towards the end with like the training at the pool and stuff.
You thought that was more a Noah project?
Yeah, I thought that was more just like the teachers talking to them through the robot, or maybe just like put a program in the robot, but more so probably just like the teachers talking to them through the robot.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know, bro. Theory is out there.
Because first I thought you was gonna say that because it was fuck with the cameras and shit like that. The reason why the plane came down is because they maybe hijacked a plane or something that was flying over the facility and made it go through. But again, then that means they'd have to be controlling the cameras and with controlling the robots too. And that's kind of a stretch. That's kind of like, but when you put it like that, maybe.
No, yeah, that was just my theory of it, that he basically sent Shiro the nude. He taught the girls that we saw kissing, kind of introduced that behavior to them, because obviously the school said specifically that they did.
Said, like, we never showed them the distinction between man and woman. We never showed them. Because I was a little confused, too. I'm like, Nigga, if they supposed to be based off humans, cause I would never have, you know what I mean? I would never have no high school, no middle school kids and no boarding school co-ed and just assume like they're not gonna do nothing of that sort. I'm like, cause they human. They go, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, like you're gonna get curious cause they're gonna have urges, they're gonna have feelings. Like that would be dumb as hell for you to assume this would not happen. Right. So, but now that you put it like that, I'm like, okay, if they growing them in the lab, if they were, you know what I mean, had them for a purpose of like, just trying to, I don't know, make the next evolutionary step in the human process and then, you know, take over their body or whatever the case may be, make themselves immortal, then it would make sense why they like, because y'all don't really need to know that shit. We just need y'all to stay alive long enough to know that y'all not going to catch this disease so we can take your body type shit. Yeah. That's basically what it boiled down to. As far as for the director, like, that's all she was on. But that shit was funny. Her ass got to getting up and running. Niggas like, bitch, you can walk. I'm like, yeah. Hey, talk about a power move. I got niggas pushing me around all day and I could just get up and walk.
That was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
What's kind of weird to me, because I'm like, okay, was she like pretending to be this old lady?
Feeble, yeah,
because of the brain swap. But I'm like, even with like a brain swap, that really wouldn't affect the physical. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't understand how pretending that you're not able to walk would help like hide the brain swap, because that's more of like a physical than mental.
And here's the thing though, you gotta think about it like this. So she said she was 80, so bro was already like, bro didn't even think she was gonna make it to the brain swap. That's a secret plan.
The first one.
Oh, what?
Her first brain swap.
True, but also, like they said, they was dealing with the disease. So if the disease had never popped up, you know what I mean? Everybody would have known, like, all right, she trying to brain swap, you know what I mean? Now, after that, she like, okay, bro, I'm going to just take this bitch body over because, nigga, she want to be director, so I'm going to be director. And when I seen that, and then I seen her faking, I'm like, you feel me? I just thought that was a part of her plan all along, like whether she had chose bro. Because they had said, like, well, Dr. Sawada was supposed to be assistant director or in line to be director. Right. I'm like, and this nigga mad. I'm like, cuz she been acting weak because, nigga, whoever she chose was going to lose their fucking body. She know good and well she ain't going to stay alive 15 more years. You feel me? Like, she probably not banking, all right, I'm going to be to 95. But, you know what I mean? If she like, well, nigga, I'll just act old, whatever the case may be, and then when I do die, or, you know what I mean, I could just brain swap, kill my body off whenever, because I've been acting hella feeble. So I could just steal a nigga body, act like I'm him, and then call it a day. Like, old director died, y'all. She was already 80, not knowing that she could walk around and move and run and really wasn't as close to death as niggas thought. Like, they really didn't need to pick a director. She wasn't that, you feel me, that fucked up, but that's how she was playing it. Like, damn, I'm sick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just kind of what I thought. I thought, like, oh, that was part of her plan. Like, it's like she been acting like that because, you feel me, she want to, you know what I mean? Almost like what the White Coast did. Like, oh, damn, she died. Sorry, y'all. Face. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it just kind of, like, was kind of jarring to me because I was like, okay, even if you got like a brain that knows how to run, how to walk, you still in an old body.
Right. Oh,
having this brain is not going to help you like be able to walk or run any better. Like if the body is still old, it's an old body.
You thought she was getting a new brain in her old body?
No, the fact that she just like, I don't even want to say like younger mentally because it's probably just like an older soul with how many times she did the swap.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I just like the bitch is old, so
right.
Why is she running?
Why is she? Yeah. Or if she could move and run around, why the fuck she acting like she can't? I see what you. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was just like a power move because a lot of niggas was really surprised. Like they're mad. Like bitch, I've been pushing you around and you feel me? That's how I took it. Like oh damn, she on some bullshit. Like she just want a power move. Like yeah, I'm gonna keep niggas under my thumb, make niggas cater to me. I'm gonna make these niggas push me around.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Getting back to Maru and them, what you guys think of Juichi?
Stories
and stuff.
Bro, it's my favorite character. I ain't gonna lie. Side character. No way, favorite side character, bro. Like I feel like.
Oh, you're talking about later.
Yeah. Honestly, like, as far as his story in total, which I guess, you know what I mean, was like, the part 2 of his shit was like episode 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie. I think like, and which is crazy because in episode 9, when he, you know what I mean, when he kind of tricks him or whatever the case may be, gets the money off of him, and they go in the academy and they like, bro, we really didn't need this nigga for real.
Yeah.
I like, and then the next episode when they started off, like, you feel me? They try to show us this little montage, like he come back, he hella sincere. I'm like, from that point on, I'm like, nah, you just tricked us. Like, nah, the gang not fucking with you. I, as an audience member, was like, I don't trust this nigga. Like, I don't care what they show me. They already showed me this nigga's shaky. He's shady. He's shiesty. I don't fuck with him. But after seeing him really, like, after seeing that shit was really true, like, he really missed his family, and then, feel me, seeing how he stood on business, you feel me, for his family, I'm like, nah, that nigga, nah, this nigga Juichi's like that. Like, he's really that nigga. Like,
that's kind of weird to me how they retconned it, because at first they're like,
yeah,
oh man, it's a fake tattoo, he's lying.
Oh,
Right. And then they come back the very next episode and
nice.
say, oh no, he got a real one over here, so I guess he was telling the truth.
But Marvel was trying to wipe it off, just like, hey, it ain't coming off, so this time he must be telling the truth. But at that point, why would you have a fake one?
That's what I'm saying. At that
like,
point, why aren't you just showing that tattoo? Like, here's the very real
Literally.
tattoo. This is gonna help make my story believable. Why would you have a?
Yeah. Your boy was tweaking, man.
Yeah, that was kind of, yeah. I don't know. Then that's, I don't know, bro. I feel like this show, they was in love with the plot twist, bro. Like, they love like showing you one thing and then being like, nope, actually, it's this. I'm like, and I think that was another one of the bad examples of like, cause that was kind of necessary. Like, you could have just, you know what I mean? You could have just had it from the start. Like, he was telling the truth about that story, at least that story. Like, even if he was like, I'm telling the truth about this story, but I'm not telling y'all where it is. I'm taking y'all money and driving off, and then coming back and being like, well, I do want to save my son. That would have been more believable than this nigga lying about everything, and then you trying to retcon it like, no, he's not lying about everything. I'm like, at this point, like I said, at that point, whole episode 10, I'm like, bro, I don't care what this nigga show us, bro. I do not trust this nigga. I don't care that he didn't, you feel me, touch her gun when she was asleep. I don't care that he been genuine after that. Like, I don't trust this nigga. He's shiesty, bro, because he just showed us this nigga shiesty. So
maybe he lied about it. Just like, oh, just in case I run into other people are doing that, or I accidentally run into the group and go, oh, I'm not really bored. I can just rub it off with the fake tattoo.
That could make sense.
Because you don't want to run into them again. But, oh, yeah, I was one of you guys. Yeah, you guys had me locked up. I got the tattoo right here. Then you're like,
then they get on you.
Yeah.
Right, then they get on you.
Yeah, oh, really? Yeah, welcome right back to the pen. Yeah.
That's true. So maybe that was the reason why. I don't know.
After he moves the van, we see the Takahara Academy. They kind of discover like one of the branches of it. They see the logo that they've been trying to track down this whole time. They go in, see the paperwork, and see this kind of an academy. I kind of put like the dome version is like the new version. Yeah. Obviously, still thinking that everything is on the same timeline.
Right. Yeah. And I remember them saying that they had 2 major facilities and 18 branches.
Yeah.
As just like, you feel me, just kind of like information they threw out there, and then they also showed us like the director, like with the big board meeting and everything, and like you said, I kind of thought this was all the same timeline still, and I thought like, you know what I mean, I was like, okay, so they're kind of spread out all over Japan or all over the world, and they're kind of, you feel me, but it was throwing me off. I was confused as to how these niggas had like, you know what I mean? Like, internet connection and, like, plenty of power and, like, an AI compound system. Like, a lot of the things I guess there were a lot of signs that would tell you, like, this had to be, you know what I mean, either way off in the future or way off in the past before this, you know what I mean, great disaster or whatever. But, feel me, in the middle of the show, bro, you really never know. Like, you know what I mean? I just thought, like, they self-sufficient, like, they got resources, like, they're, you know.
It was still reasonable that was still in the pack. They had a dead bitch sitting on the table, mind tapping on a damn iPad, to be fair. Remember that's how she was communicating. She's like, oh, she communicates through the iPad. She wasn't typing on it. It was going from her brain straight to the damn iPad. So it was like, it's kind of still reasonable that at that time they could have been.
They would have had technology. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the technology they had, especially with her gun and stuff, like, and even, you feel me, like, nothing really stood out
that episode
completely like, oh yeah, this is a different time.
You know what I mean? I feel like that episode really solidified, like, okay, maybe this could be going on at the same time because they had that kind of technology.
Right. Yeah. Which thinking about it, that would be.
Because they were legitimately powering an entire building. So
literally, and plenty of life support and shit, like life support for certain parts of it. Yeah, that would be.
Just a little bit added context. The location that the dome is at is more of like a secretive branch of the academy because we see they named 2 areas where the other 2 that are listed are at. Yeah. But those are on like the mainland of Japan.
Right.
Where the dome, obviously we see in the last episode, is on an island.
It's on an island.
So it's so secretive that even in these findings and these notes that they end up finding, it's not listed. Or it could just be it's not listed because it's destroyed by this point. But I kind of took it as it was more of a secretive branch, and that's why it wasn't in the paperwork. But it could be like, oh, it's destroyed, so that's why it's not in the paperwork.
You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Already, what are we on? 10? 10.
We started 10 now, I think.
Yeah, all right. 10, we got Maru and Haruki help Juichi track down his long-lost son. Meanwhile, at the school, a new group of 5th years are introduced.
Hey, Juichi.
The gold.
Man started off broken.
Staying on business. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, his ass was wilding.
He's like,
He said, "Wait, man, let me check your knockers, man. You might get us in trouble. These too big." I'm like, bro.
Yeah. So the women
Keep your hands to yourself, nigga.
I was like, bro, really? Then you gotta dress up Maru as a female. So I was like,
yeah, that was fried.
I'll put this episode have a different art director because the animations, a lot of the animations at the beginning of this one, especially with like the more comedic, exaggerated animations, the face and the expressions look really different. They go there. Juichi stays back in the car, but they ended up going to the facility where they had like the breeding pigs, and we get like this freeze man eater.
Yeah.
Which is like, I thought this was one of the better fights in the series.
did y'all pay attention to the to Juichi's backstory of like the 2 women?
Yeah.
He and all that. Did y'all notice like the bell thing that he was wearing? Like he was wearing the 2 women.
Yeah, the little ranger thing.
Yeah. So I wrote it down as Spider-Man. It could be. I didn't notice until afterwards. Well, as I was watching the show, Spider-Man Eater, if you pay attention closely, you see it running up top stairs. Because after Mario and
like
is
2
running, you see a bell thing that's like on the leg of it. So I'm like,
I didn't even
I'm
see
like,
that.
dang, is this the 2 women or something like that? I didn't know who it was. But yeah, if you
now that you saying that does make sense though, because they literally said like he cut part, they blasted a part off one, and he was like, "Cause I can touch it, but the heart is not here. Like it's still a functional part of this Hiraku that walked off."
Yeah, like if you pause it, because I had to do that. Cause I'm like, I could have sworn I seen that, and you will see it literally on one of the legs of the spider man eater that he had like the bell thing that's right there on his rearview mirror, and the spider had it. So I was like, oh shit.
And now I'm thinking the 2 women might have been the 2 girls in the compound that we know had some type of relationship, like they kissing and shit. Like that could have been them. I don't know. Might have been a stretch, but
that could. Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I don't know. You feel me? Like, because think about it. It had to be at least 1 or 2 women there that wasn't Hiraku. Yeah. That their baby came out as a Hiraku because this nigga got power.
I was going to wait to say that's what we revealed, that his son was a man eater, because it's just like it made no sense that his son was randomly a man eater without being related to somebody.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's crazy.
That was something I picked up. I was like, damn,
crazy.
But yeah, going to the fight scene, it was pretty dope. Watching that.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, because the whole time I was just right, Juichi, he just, searching for his son. That was just pretty much his whole goal, looking for him.
Hey, this show really.
Yeah. I mean, after hearing everything,
the dots connect. Hey, when the dots connect, man, this motherfucker hard. I can't lie.
Then I wrote down for Juichi, after we found out that he's getting discovered by his fellow prisoners, and they pretty much found him, and they go take him back to his son.
Of the pigs.
And you see them all pretty much having like a reunion of the sorts. And you see them all collaborating all that with his son. And then we get a scene where we thinking that the man eater's back, because everybody just freezing to death. I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? And then we see the child just being carried on by Haruki, just running down the street, and then he says Haruki down there just about to die right there. And
I thought Juichi was dead.
Oh, they thought Juichi was?
Yes, when they go to the room and get the baby, and they see like he's like frozen.
Yeah, because he was right next to him.
Right.
Yeah, that nigga was. straight out. I thought he was dead too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah,
And then I don't know. I was about to say, bro, this man either done leveled up. This is the first time I ever seen a nigga get hurt and leveled up because this nigga not run away from this nigga.
Right.
Same thing with Maru. Maru was running, but I guess you know what I mean. He had enough common sense to know, like, bro, it's this little nigga. Like, I'm still cold. Like,
With his power, he was just like, I can.
And that makes sense because he got the power.
He
got the power. So
yeah,
probably almost off that little nigga.
Yeah, but I wrote down here. I said, imagine snitching on your own fellow prisoner just for leaving when you could have left. Because you remember he freaking came back. And he killed his.
They get to escape.
That nigga said somebody's escaping.
Yeah, bro.
Check the front gate. What
the
fuck is he on, bro?
And it gives him an opening to escape during the attack.
Yeah, I was just like, are you for real, man?
And it all's making sense. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I just wrote down for that.
So they must have turned into a man eater right after them niggas got, you know what I mean, executed and shit, and then.
Yeah, but I thought when the kid turned to like the avatar state and just a straight up ice sphere, I was like, oh man, he's about to transform right now. Like,
you this is turn into like a monster.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you gonna transform right now? That's
I did
great.
too. I thought he was gonna.
You just see him just crying, and I'm like, all right, so how does this man weeder ability just works? I mean, do you just coincide with it for the rest of your life, or does it just like attack your body cells or something like that? And you actually
He took it back to the little settlement. I was
like,
bro, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't know why they allowed that.
Maru said that. He like, yeah, man, hey, don't let your kid kill you, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd have been voting for that nigga. Like, hey, I'm glad you got your kid back, bro, but you gotta get the fuck up out of here, bro. But I don't know. Then again, like you would think that they would have dealt with that before, if it, you know what I mean? If a significant time had passed, and that little nigga been doing that, you know what I mean? Like, but I get maybe that was just the first time his
power is kind of
I'm gonna say maybe that was the first time.
They did say like the night after he escaped, the baby started crying. Then the man eater showed up. So I'm sure somebody probably put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Oh, okay. At the end, Juichi steals the car after he kills the guy that snitched on him.
Happy ending for real. That's what I wrote. Low key happy ending for real, because he definitely got his just desserts. And then even when Juichi first got back and he was trying to talk to him like, hey Juichi, man, he just straight ignored him like, yeah man, my kid, man, thanks for taking care of my kid, man. And they just kept going. But after, you know what I mean, after he stood on business with bro and killed him, I'm like, oh, so that's what you was gonna talk to him about. You was hoping he wasn't feeling the way, but it's too late for that. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can say that can amend that. Like he would have had to die, bro. Like if they would have said, like if they would have told us, like, yeah, man, Juichi, one of the pigs did that to Juichi, and they just showed us living in harmony. They showed us them living in harmony. I would have been like, bro, this nigga weak, bro. You gonna live next to this dude? He done got your family killed, and y'all could have got away. All he had to do was shut up, or at least wait 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like if there was a delay, or if this nigga had shut the hell up. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who knows? You could have been with your family, but the fact that it's literally this nigga fault, I'm like, yeah, there's no way you could just live in a settlement with this dude. I don't care how long he took care of your son. Nah. That's the least you could do.
Yeah, I thought it was wild. Towards the beginning, we see Tokyo Burgers like by the pool, and she got the little baby bump. Oh, and the one staff member's like looking through the window. She's like, "There's no way."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, what are you talking?" I can't rewind that like 5-10 times. Like,
I rewinded it once, and I was like, I seen the baby bump. I said, "Oh, she's pregnant." Oh.
Yeah. I was like, "Dang, when she get pregnant?" I had to like go back. I had to go back episodes because there was an episode. I think it was like.
Yeah, I think 5 it was after the ending scene, like after credit scene.
Yeah, I'm about to say Kona put in work, bro.
Yeah, because I was like, when she even? But there was a scene where she was throwing up. And she was like, I'm like, no, I ain't sick or anything like that. So why am I like this? I'm like, okay. Then I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, so she may just been having that early stage of pregnancy,
morning sickness and shit.
Yeah, and that's when it came up to that episode, and she was like, wait, could it be? I'm like, on past, dude.
I ain't gonna lie, my dumb ass, I was watching it on Hulu, and I finished episode 9. Nigga, for some reason, it skipped to episode 11. I'm watching this shit. Director like, yeah, man, Tokyo's baby. I'm like, Tokyo's baby? I seen them driving the car. I'm like, where the fuck Juichi? How did he get his car? I'm like, this can't be episode 10.
Right.
So then you feel me? I kind of already knew, like, okay, this is going to happen. So then I had to go back and watch episode 10. Yeah. So I was kind of, you feel me? Even though, like, that probably might have been something I would have picked up on until they said it. Yeah, right. Like, I got spoiled of it. I was already knowing.
Oh, go back to episode 9 because you mentioned Tokyo pregnant. Did y'all notice that she noticed like that angel figure in the sky?
Yeah. She said she was the only one that could see Asura.
Yeah, because Shiro was right there. I'm just like,
yeah, he was like, I don't see nothing.
So that was Asura, right? Okay.
Yeah, that was Asura. Yeah, that was Asura. Because before he or they, whatever, had killed themselves, she had like grown the wings.
Yeah.
And then like the image she saw was literally like them floating up there with the, like when I seen them same wings, I said, okay, that's fucking around Asura up there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was wondering about that.
All right, you got anything else for 10?
10? Nah, man. It's GOAT. Right. Juichi the GOAT.
To 11. And we get Tokyo gives birth. The kids at the school bond with the new 5th years. Meanwhile, Haruki and Maru get one step closer to tracking down Robin. All right.
This episode was crazy. This was probably my favorite episode.
I kind of noticed that the beginning of the episode, we got the new 5th year students, and we see Tokyo's baby in the incubation room. All the other incubators are empty.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the babies we saw before, the man-eater babies that we saw before are probably the new 5th year students.
Yeah, I didn't even put them two. I didn't even put that two and two together. Because they had showed us the boardroom. I'm thinking they kids from another facility. They was giving a nigga a tour of it. You know what I mean? They was giving them niggas in the suits a tour of it. And it was like adults we hadn't seen before. So I'm thinking like, you know what I mean? I'm still thinking like they getting these kids in port. You know what I mean? Like sit here somehow, some way. But as far as like episode 11, I think like, yeah, this is when we basically find out what the director has planned going on. I thought that was crazy. I really this made me really like the director's character as far as just like her ruthlessness and like, you know what I mean? I'm like, cause like this is a hell of a person to be in a position over some shit like this. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like she got this facility under her control. She got the power to literally create, clone, and make bodies. And you know what I mean? She talked about like, and she, you know what I mean? The director literally said like, cuz this disease done fucked us up. I want a new body. These niggas are supposed to be immune to everything. And that's when it clicked for me like, oh, okay, so y'all growing these niggas. You're trying to basically make yourself immortal. Like you're trying to make, you know what I mean? A human body that doesn't get sick and has increased physical prowess. Cause we see one bro jumping hella far. They like Taro, that nigga could lift up this rock and throw it. This big ass rock. So you feel me? I'm like, oh damn. So you trying to get like basically be like immortal, like become a god. I thought that was interesting. I like the scene with Oma and the hallucination. That shit was crazy. That shit made me feel uncomfortable. Just like, you know what I mean? In terms of like, this is really some frightening shit. I'm like, cuz like I thought, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, this is some shit. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna help her. Like, nigga, this would be scary as fuck.
That was scary. It was the second one to me was my favorite scene in like the whole show. I thought that scene was 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah. I thought that shit was crazy. And I also noticed in this episode as well, nigga, we see the head of the tech department in the compound. It's like, yeah, the computer system went down. Mina went down. We trying to figure out what's going on. The other niggas in the tech department talking to him like, so, yeah, man, what's the plans? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing here? The nigga like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get the computer back on. I'm like, so nobody really knows what the fuck is going on but the director. Yeah. Like, nobody, these niggas are clueless. Like, these niggas are just watching the kids, monitor them, but they really don't know, like... I thought that was cool. I thought it kind of added to the whole mystery of like, oh shit, okay, so we know what the director got going on, but you know what I mean? Like, how are they going about it? Like, how's this going to play out? Because we see like, that basically just told me like, cause the adults are going to be no help. Like, these niggas don't know what's going on. Like, it's going to be the director and these kids, bro. Like, so I ain't gonna lie. I thought that shit was cool. I thought that shit was just funny how them niggas didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, they kind of just had a sense of we want to create like a safe haven, but beyond that, we really don't know any like big picture plans.
Right.
I also was like with you early on in this episode, thinking that like the director was cool because her reaction to Tokyo's baby is not like something like, oh, you know, we need to abort the baby or something, or like we can't let it get out that this happened, she's immediately like happy that like, okay,
well, let's see
this
how
is
turn out.
you're right, this is different. This baby could be our only hope. You know, we're gonna put everything, all our hopes into this baby. I was like, okay. So she really played her like that. And then just getting into my favorite scene of the whole series with Oma. I like Oma's design, first off.
Yeah.
Just a super cute little girl with the glasses, like the Ray Charles shades or something.
Right.
And then she like goes up to her, she's all alone, and she's like, the other kids, they don't want to play with me or whatever because I annoy them. And she's like, she starts crying, and she like takes off, Mimi Hime takes off her glasses to like wipe her eyes, and we see like the cause of this mild annoyance, which is like
you scaring the fuck out of people.
Yeah, she gives people like a hypnosis, genjutsu thing of like your worst fear ever. Yeah. And then that proceeds into Mimi Hime waking up later in the nurse's office after like going through that traumatic event. She has a talk with Kona, which again was really weird because she's like, I see things, and we see like this monster that's like right by her, and then she like kind of tries to focus on getting it to disappear and go away. Yeah. And after she finishes up her talk with Kona, she goes out to the outside, like the bear, like where the school and like the little artificial outside part begins, and talks to Oma, and Oma like apologizes for basically the inconvenience of, you know, accidentally doing that to her, and she takes off the glasses again to try to like give Oma confidence, and she like basically comes up with the willpower to resist, to resist the Oma's powers. Right. And I was like, wow, that was a really sweet scene, and that was probably my favorite scene in the whole show. Yeah. I really liked that scene, that she was able to risk, you know, going through something as traumatic again, just for this little girl that she like barely knows. I was like, wow,
just to make her feel better
about herself. Yeah.
This episode made it painfully clear that Maru was one of the twins. At least in my opinion. Like, I kind of already had that suspicion, but I was like, by episode 11, it's like, yeah, it's 100% that he has to be one of the
Yeah, and we even know that Maru in Japanese can mean circle, and we see like later on, like they draw a circle on one of the feet of the twins because they cloned Tokyo's baby.
Right. And domestic got them mixed up.
For the next one. Yeah.
But yeah, I think as far as this episode, I really liked Oma. Like you said, I really like Oma's design. And I think another thing that I'm realizing that I really like about the show is, I guess like now thinking about it, like now going back, it's crazy for me to think about how many man-eaters or other characters in the show that I didn't know that I didn't know that I cared about their death until I'm realizing that's who that was. You know what I mean? Like before, I'm just like, okay, y'all showing me these characters. I'm not seeing the correlation. Like, it is what it is. But now, after talking about it and now hearing that, I'm like, damn. Now I feel like that scene in the garage hits just even more a little harder. Because I'm like, damn, that was Oma. And that's kind of fucked up. Like, we didn't even get to see, like, her grow up or how she was as a person. Like, you know what I mean? Different things like that. So, yeah, I think the show definitely did a good job of, like, I guess getting you attached to characters, before, you know what I mean? Without you even knowing that. And, like, you would have to either... You know what I mean? Either like watch a review, tune into the show, man, or you would have to, you know what I mean? Either like look at comments or talk to friends. You know what I mean? You would have to like either rewatch it again or bounce your ideas and theories off other people to really like get the full scope of what they were trying to show you and tell you. So I fuck with that. Yeah. And I think just us talking about this episode made it clearer that like, damn, that's what it is for me. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the episode where I really like theorized that the teachers were kind of like suiting up for this escape plan. They kind of like talk about doing this test by the pool, and kind of, again going back to Promised Neverland. Towards the end, we see Ray, Emma, and Norman. They play these games with the younger kids to kind of get them ready physically to basically carry out the escape plan. So I was like, okay, the test by the pool is like basically like a test for the kids, help them escape. the clone of Tokyo's baby is so that they can escape with the real baby, leave the old one. So the Mina or whatever the director
will.
They're like, okay, we still got the baby, whatever, but they really just have like a cloned version. That's kind of what I thought going into those last couple scenes of that episode.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Man, because I don't know. It might be a little slow. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with the twins. I'm like, then they said, like, oh, she had twins. I'm like,
right.
I feel like that would have been something I would have said because twins
Right,
is
they
a
try
lot.
to cover it up by
I'm about to say twins is a lot of just one baby because one woman giving birth to one kid, I feel like we would know if she had twins. I would say something like, what the fuck is this other random baby coming from?
In the next episode.
But
You got anything else for 11?
nah, let's just get this shit over with, man. This next episode, man. Oh my god.
This
I ain't
is
much more.
the show is
Trigger warning, man.
pretty decent until about these last two episodes, man. Episode 12, I got Maru and Hikaru are register for residency in Robin's new town. Meanwhile, the school is attacked and some of the kids use this as a chance to escape into the real outside world.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So who's going first on this one?
At least like that first part, after like the whole crash thing happens, and it kind of like started thinking. I was like, damn, maybe the director takes over the other baby, because it's like, we gotta find the person that looks like him. I was like, so it's a good chance that the director is probably gonna lean towards taking over the one.
I feel that, which would make sense as to why, like, you know what I mean? It would be somebody that looks just like you, but would be, you know what I mean? Because up until this point, like, I didn't even know it wasn't clicking to me that he was looking for the other twin, but I thought he was looking for, this whole time I've been thinking he's headed towards the compound, so, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, like, whoever the fuck he's looking for has got to be, like, evil or, you know what I mean? Or, like, either the reason the world is ending or have to do with something important enough to put him on this journey, because if not, I'm like, because you could have just had, you know what I mean? He could have just lived his life like,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Just doing whatever, you know what I mean? Surviving or trying to make a life or whatever the case may be. Like, why the fuck is he on this whole quest?
Yeah.
So,
That's what I'm going into.
We see Mina, like the internal system for the school gets shut off during this attack.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody's locked up in their own rooms. Can't figure it out.
The like shaking of the building during like the impact of the attack makes the babies, like he gets mixed up the babies. And I kind of thought it was weird. It's like you got the kids escaping and then all the teachers and stuff, they run right to the incubation room. And I'm like, bruh, is nobody going to check on the kids? Nobody care about the kids escaping?
Right.
Or
even making sure they all right. Nobody,
right.
Let's gather them up. Let's do a head count.
Right.
Like, that's
and they after they talk to him they leave like, oh, let's go get the kids or whatever. I'm like, but so much later, it's like it's weird. We get the name for the doctor. Robin says the doctor she's been looking for this whole time is Sakota or something like that.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
So that and we end up getting his name revealed. And then I wrote, like, how many times will we have to see Haruki take a bath? Like, bruh, Haruki has so many bath scenes in this show. I'm like, goes one more. The worst one. I didn't even realize at the time.
I'm about to say, I feel like as far as this episode, I thought, like, the Ministry of Reconstruction and the town that Robin had built, I thought it was, like, a cool display of just the world being, like, well thought out and well built. And as far as people, you know what I mean? Like, actually making the effort of, like, trying to rebuild infrastructure and, like how they had to register, how they were giving them basically, like, IDs. They had their own system for, like, basically, like, currency. They also had their own system for, like, housing or land. Like, you basically, like, even though everything's abandoned, you basically would just try to look for something free, and then once it's free and you hung your thing on it, the next person or whoever else would know, like, okay, people are staying here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go here. Somebody here.
Somebody else live in this cardboard box.
Right. Exactly. So I think, like, I thought that was cool as far as like the infrastructure and the society that they were trying to rebuild. That's about all I liked on this episode. That's all the positives I got for this one.
Yeah, all I wrote down on this so just fucking director can run the whole time. I mean, I know that makes it just took me off guard as I was watching. It just took me off guard. I was just like, you telling me this person can run the whole time? Just like
the lady that died right next to her had me, bro. She said, "Get up and push me, bro." Man, you playing? Take off. As soon as she took off, that shit blew up. I said, that bitch is dead.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, that shit was wild. Then I just wrote Dr. Young with the babies. It was just like, you used to get the quick snippet of him just yelling. He's like, what are you yelling at? It's like 2 babies right there. It's like, bro, you're yelling at babies right now? What you getting mad about, man? But, that's all I wrote down for that. Back to the outside world with Haruki and Maru. I mean, they finally get to Robin's town. They settle in. And you can see, like, the tension in the room. Not really tension, but you can just see the atmosphere of Maru. It's like, all right, you finally get to see Robin now. You only see him 2 hours now for the appointment. You're going to forget about me kind of thing. It's like, so where's this relationship going to be? Like, you just going to forget me or you still be my bodyguard and all that?
We see that he's really shocked when he sees him.
Yeah, and it was that. Yeah, when I seen his face expression, it was just like, how are you alive? Or just like, glad to see you. It's just that little mixed expression you get from him. I'm not gonna say this out loud on a podcast, but it was just from the, like I said, bath scene with Haruki. That was just like, wow.
Oh my god.
Whoever will take the torch on that, because I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna say the word.
I just say, hey. Trigger warning, man.
Trigger warning, everybody. Don't get offended.
You know what I mean? Touchy subjects. Some vile things happen this episode, man.
Super vile.
Feel me? To a main character in a female body. You know what I mean? You feel me? It was kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, off camera or off podcast, I feel like this is the first time I've personally seen like a character like Robin that were shown beforehand, like, you know what I mean, being very like kind and caring and like protective of the orphans, you know what I mean, or the kids that he was around or whatever. And then like even with Haruki, after he did a good job, he bought bro a coat, like, you know what I mean, like I guess they were kind of showing us like this is somebody that he admires, this is somebody he looks up to, this is somebody that kind of embodies like a righteous person as far as, you know what I mean, like fighting for the right things and protecting others, you know what I mean, fighting for people that can't fight for themselves. I thought that was hella cool. Me, like Haruki, I've been waiting to run into Robin. I've been waiting to see him. I'm thinking he gonna be the life of the party, man. We gonna get right back on track. Like, he gotta been doing something important all this time. So, yeah, I mean, just for him to kind of take advantage of the situation and the character, the woman involved, man, it was tough, man. I ain't gonna lie, it was tough, man. It was very uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of animes that have made me feel that feeling that I felt watching this. Very like Goblin Slayer-ish. For y'all that know, y'all know. Just so, hey, just be careful, man. And like everything up until this point was cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This really put everything on his head for me, man.
Yeah. My last note for this episode literally says like Robin evil ? And I kind of had like, I was questioning like, because we see when they mention him back during the episode at Dr. Usami's place. They say, Robin was here, but he just left one day without saying nothing. We just woke up and he was gone. So I was kind of like, okay, there might be more to it because, what's the explanation to him just like leaving out of nowhere?
Right.
So I'm kind of like, dude, I'm not thinking like he's evil yet, but I'm like.
But even they said like, we just figured he went to help people in somewhere else or, you know what I mean? So I didn't even think twice about that. I just figured like,
No,
You know what I mean? Like, we still chasing him. Like, he rolling. You know what I mean? Like, he traveling. Like, he's
just
not
like this is
staying
like
where
the
too
second
long.
spot he just like up and left from without saying nothing.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because they definitely noted, like they went out the way to note that they thought they said he was a doctor, and this whole time before that, we didn't even know he was a doctor. We thought he was just
some like rebellion leader. Or
yeah.
That is true. Yeah, I thought he was just like a bodyguard or a mercenary or a bandit or something. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
seeing him fight and shit, I thought he was just kind of like
Yeah,
a
because
tough
they
guy.
difference like, no, we know him. That's Doctor, whatever his last name was.
Dr. Inazaki.
Yeah, the first time he left, he just left the actual
It's
doctor
Robin Cosby,
doing,
man. It's crazy.
experiments, and then the second time he left, it was just like straight up
so
mysterious.
crazy,
Yeah.
But
Goddamn Robin Epstein, man.
yeah. Then meanwhile, Mario just sitting there at home, just like, all right, just waiting on
Yeah, he got
on
fed
sidekick. Just waiting on sidekick. Gotta get some food.
I was so short, and I kind of thought of it. I was like, "Damn! Imagine watching this like weekly as it came out,
Oh, my
and you
God,
like,
man.
bro, I gotta wait a whole nother week to see what happens with how
Yeah.
episode 12 ends." I was like, bro, I'm going into 13. I'm about to load up 13, and I'm like, if there was ever a time for a cliched, heroic save entrance,
Bust open the door.
now is
Hey,
the
hold
time.
on.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that
care
was definitely
how
the time.
cliched it would be. Now is the time for one of those scenes. I don't care.
Yeah,
That's when we
Like,
needed the
whoa.
Disney ending right
Disney
there.
ending.
I ain't gonna lie.
Right, yeah. Cause
And
then Mario just like, I understand. Like, if I were, left or somebody left me, I'm searching for them a long time. I would probably be away from, whoever my job will be. And just to spend time with them, and it was just like, all right, we understand.
I definitely think. I don't know. Like you said, I feel like that kind of inner dialogue. I feel like we see that a couple times in the show.
Yeah.
From both characters, but really from Mario, you feel me? I know I can remember at least like one or two other times where he kind of like has an inner dialogue that kind of like walks the audience through his thinking.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, we needed it on this one.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
everybody at home wondering like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
do,
Like,
right?
she in trouble. So, but I mean, he definitely broke it down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you ain't seen him in a while. I get it. But shit, once the second afternoon come, he like, all right, come on now, 2 whole days.
Right.
Now, this don't make sense. Now, let me
yeah.
go check. I got a weird feeling in my gut. Like,
Because even I was watching, I was just like, all right, I'm sure he's going to have that little red alert just going to be going off in his head. Just
Exactly,
like, all right,
yeah. Like, what the fuck's going on?
on?
And I was really wondering, like, as he was going through the dialogue, I was really almost hoping, not hoping, but I was hoping that they wouldn't do his character in a way where he's kind of like just so insecure about Robin and Kirikyu's relationship that he just chalks it up to like, oh, they must be, you know what I mean? They must be having the time of their life. Like, she must be cool. She must be done without me, and he just don't do nothing. And or he let a lot of days go by before doing something. So I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, at least I feel like they did that well. Where you know what I mean? He just kind of felt something was going on because.
Oh yeah.
If she had been in there any longer, bro. I don't know how I would be feeling about your show. I can't lie.
Got anything else for 12?
Now we've seen everybody else. Can't remember the character's name top of my head, but now they're actually going to the outside world. They actually started
all the
going through
kids.
the hole, which I thought was weird because you see them, the 4 of them, about to go to a hole, but then you see Conan just staying back. It's like, all right, I'm gonna take the kids to the swimming pool. So I'm like, okay, take the swimming pool. They're gonna come back. Like, how you guys gonna communicate? Like, hey. You guys can come as well, even though we don't know what the outside world is like. I mean, that's the only thing I really wrote down is just we get to see the patients, just the outside world.
See, Mimihime, Shiro, Anzu, and Taka are the ones that go to the outside.
Yeah. Then they end up getting lost. Mihime and Shiro.
Yeah, in 13. For 13, I got Maru rescues Hikaru. Meanwhile, some of the kids in the school get their first taste of the outside world. If the ending of last episode couldn't get any worse, you were wrong. This episode is even worse. Let's get into this last episode of the series, man, so we can be done with this.
It's fucked up, but it's not. Let's get this shit over with, man.
I said, again, like I had noted earlier in this episode, none of the adults were really quick to check on the kids, especially as we see them like venture out into the outside world even more. They get scared by the bugs and stuff.
Right.
They have a funny line like, Why, it's so hot out here. Somebody need to turn down the heat.
I was like, hell no. Yeah. Or even when she was talking about the sky, she was like, the ceiling is so high.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to reach out for it.
I'm like, this dumbass kid, man. This is outside.
They don't know no better, T. Man. It's first time being outside.
I think the scene with Maru coming in, man. Maru definitely whooped their ass. Well deserved. I'm talking about this is probably the most justified ass meeting of the whole show, bro. Yeah. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
If anybody needed to take ass whooped or needed to be killed, bro, it was Robin, and Maru was definitely the guy to do it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like, and that's another thing that now that I think about, I really don't appreciate about the show, because I feel like in episode 12 they really went grimy, they really went serious. Like, as an audience member, bro, 13, like, I need to see y'all going that hard in his punishment. Like, I don't like that he just, you know what I mean? I don't like that she was just like, oh, stop. And he was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to stop. You feel me? Or whatever, whoever, you feel me? The fact that they was like, stop, I'm like, because if there was ever a time where I would have liked to have seen off screen a nigga get beat to death, like, it would have been him in that situation. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, because that could have been, or even if them showing us, like, how well Robin was able to fight before, like, I would have liked to see him at least put up more of a fight. And, you know what I mean? At least show us, like, damn, Maru really, you feel me? Like, Maru was really that upset. Like, Maru was really overpowered him. Like, damn, Maru done got him together. But, you know what I mean? It was, they really had reduced him to just, like, this creepy.
Yeah, because you see Robin the whole time just trying to run past him. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nah, bro, I'm expecting him to. He kept throwing him in that corner. I'm like, I'm rubbing my hands like Birdman. Like, please break his goddamn back. Yeah, please punch a hole in his stomach, bro.
I'm like,
kill this
Robin
dude.
about to really do something about it? Like, I mean, fight back, but you don't get none. You just get straight landslide ass by Maru, which you well deserved, like you said, man. I just think that because, I mean, I'm not gonna Robin was
that's what I would have wanted. I would have
Maru has been like raised up in the gang, and I mean, we all know that he probably came from the facility, had some sort of combat experience, but I mean, something.
He knew he didn't have a chance to see Maru take 2 bodyguards down at the bridge.
No, he
to
didn't.
Take two more armed bodyguards at the door. So
you definitely see him.
That's what I'm.
Let me get to this.
That's
door
what I'm
real
saying.
Quick.
I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, like I said, like when we first seen Robin, cause the nigga, you feel when we first seen Robin, the nigga literally he saved Haruki and then giving him pointers like, yeah, bro, don't look in the eyes. A lot of niggas try to scare you, look in their eyes, bro. Look at their collarbone. Like, just off that scene, you feel me? I'm already thinking, like, and like I said, we've been waiting to see him. Like, I'm thinking, like, okay, this nigga a proficient fighter. Like, you know what I mean? He been out here surviving. I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I just, like, me personally, I just would have wanted them to give me a little bit something more than that. Like, because, you feel me? Like, what y'all made me watch in episode 12, I need to be justified. Like, this nigga needs to get his just desserts, man. He don't need to slink off away into the night, bro.
No inkling of no Robin combat ability.
Man,
I'm trying to see Robin get one shot.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. That's what you feel me? I'm like, I felt like it. I don't know.
In an instant.
I felt like it could have been more like gory or more like whatever. And since it wasn't, you feel me? I'm like, well, if y'all wasn't going to just have him get stomped, at least show us like, well, he tried to put up a fight, but yeah, Maru was so upset. Maru was so moved, so much emotion. He just overpowered him. I don't know. I just feel like that was kind of a letdown. Like, last episode of the show, bro, this nigga, out of all niggas, and if anybody needs their ass beef, any human, if we need to see a combat of anybody getting their ass beef, it needs to be him. I don't want to see him getting hit one time and he's laying on the ground and he's, no, that nigga needs to get his just desserts.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be like Tom and Jerry, like hit him over the head with a baseball bat. I want to see a knot. I want to see him get hit with an anvil. Like, he needs his just desserts, bro. That was just me personally. I felt like they could have definitely gave him more damage. He could have definitely took more damage, bro.
Oh, man, but
that was my only thing. I'm like, damn, man, let him off the hook, man.
I was jumping out of my chair after Maru seen Haruki just sitting there, and you just see Robin just like, oh shit, and then Maru just look at him like,
right,
it's go time, bro. bro.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I know what time. I know what you did.
Sure.
And it's go time.
He trying to run away and
That was
shit.
one of to me one of the most heartbreaking scenes in like all the anime. Just like
just
the realization when we see like
right.
Maru get up in the morning, and I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, bro was really getting his cheeks clapped and his mind broken for the last 2 days. Like this is fucked up.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, bro, what?
That definitely was.
Yeah, that definitely was.
Yeah, because I definitely thought Haruki would be more like mentally destroyed than how we seen 13. But I mean,
Yeah, kind of what? Because it's even in the scene, like when he's laying in the bed, he's almost like questioning, like, am I my sister now? Am I still myself? Like, we see that it's definitely took a toll on him mentally.
I don't know. I think I kind of. I don't know. I think I didn't look at it like that. I think. Like seeing, you feel me, Kiriku's reaction to it. And I know that's another thing too. How everybody's using a different name and different pronouns for this one character's pride. But I feel like after seeing, like, you feel me, like how he was interacting and talking about it.
yeah.
I don't know. I think it was just I kind of took it as just kind of like a commentary on like how like gritty and like tough the world they live in is like, you know what I mean? Like he or she didn't even like think, like, you feel me? Like nowadays, you feel me? If some shit like that was to happen, I would expect somebody to be like traumatized, like, you know what I mean? Like not wanting to do nothing, not wanting to get out the bed, like whatever the case may be. But she was just kind of like, all right, cuz, well, it's back, you know what I mean? Like, it's back to hunting man-eaters, you feel me? So I was just kind of like,
like closer to the end of the episode.
right, yeah, closer to the end of the episode. Yeah, so I kind of felt like,
tonal whiplash.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I just kind of felt like, well, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, this is the end of the world. Like,
Yeah, I kind of took it as like as heartbreaking as it is, like the scene in the bed, the inner dialogue there, kind of being like almost after what happened to me, would I be better off basically thinking that like I'm a girl or identifying as a girl versus like how hard would that be to sit with as if I continue to identify as really just who I am.
Right.
Which I always referred to him as Haruki because it wasn't a situation where he wakes up and he's like, it's crazy, guys. I have memories of being two people at the same time. Like, I have memories of being this guy, but I also have memories of being this girl at the same time. And I have memories that are from the POV of both of them. Like, no, he very specifically states, like, no, my memories are my own. I only basically, with something we get in this last episode beyond that, is very specifically just like, no, I know who I am. Right. My memories are solely just Haruki's memories. I am Haruki.
That's true.
That's why I always refer to him as Haruki and say him because
that's basically who he said
he is who he is. Like, if you have to question if you're this, then you're probably not that. You're what you are what you know you are. You're not what you kind of have to question that you are if you are.
You're right.
Nah, that's crazy. I don't know.
That was just like my whole take on it.
Which you make sense. That definitely makes sense.
We see the scene by the riverbank.
Shiro
and not the one later with Shiro
Maru and
them, but with Maru, yes, and he.
With my man Maru having heart-to-heart feelings.
Yeah,
I definitely wrote that down. Maru vs. Kiriko has a heart-to-heart moment by his feelings.
I put WTF Maru trying to hit it next.
It was fried because when I watched that, I was just like, all right, man, I see you explaining your feelings. And he's just saying, like, you're Haruki, and Kiriko, whatever. Don't matter who you were or who you are. Just know I love you for who you are. And I'm just like, are you trying to get some points after what just happened, man? I just
y'all crazy as shit.
I'm just saying.
I didn't look at it like that though. I thought it was just like.
It like that. Cause I was like,
I don't know. I did think the timing was weird. I will say that. Now the timing, was hella inconvenient. Now I was like, damn, nigga, you ain't gonna say this for the car ride out of here. You're not gonna save this for. You know what I mean? A couple days later. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was kind of I feel like it was kind of the either, I don't know if you want to say like the author or the director or whoever. I feel like it was their kind of choice to say like, all right, this is kind of gonna help Haruki kind of wrap up and consolidate his feelings because what Maru said literally touched exactly on what Robin was basically trying to manipulate and traumatize Haruki into thinking, and what the stuff that Haruki was already dealing with, like you said, like, I'm in this body that doesn't feel like my own. I don't look like what I feel, and you know what I mean? So with Maru, you feel me? I felt like what Maru said definitely kind of consolidated and was probably exactly what he needed to hear in terms of like, cuz, like, I get it. You a guy in a woman's body, cuz. I don't care. We still cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to judge you if you're this. I'm not going to judge you if you wake up one day and decide, okay, I'm this now. He like, cuz I don't give a fuck. Like, I fuck with you. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? What you look like on the outside, I fuck with you as a person. Now, I will say that's probably exactly what should have been said, but the timing is so inconvenient that me as an audience member, I'm like, cuz she just got done dealing with an assault. She don't want to hear this shit. Right. I don't want to hear this shit. I want you to go back in there and finish off Robin. So, I don't know. To me, it was just kind of like you said, like, I understand what y'all saying. It definitely was horrible fucking time.
It was
like
terrible.
Like we really didn't even need to hear that. Like, he really didn't have to say that. Like, the show could have just ended, and they could have just been like, all right, y'all, that was crazy. We going on our way, because that's what they did anyway. After that, they was like, okay, well, we're going back on our journey. So
I think that because of their, like, whatever happened there needs to stay there, I think it was important that moment happened there. To be like, hey, let's get this out the way now, to not talk about this later, to bring it up again. And it was important because Haruki was already going through who they actually are to like, regardless of who you are.
Right.
I still fuck with you.
See, and I feel that. I feel that. That's kind of the perception I had.
And especially
he said that it was exactly what you needed.
Especially because like, and you already seen in the past, like the Bear episode, where he was feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm really needed. I'm not really good at anything.
Right,
and he was like, you saying that I'm good at shooting made me feel good about myself because I didn't know I was worth anything.
Right.
So that's my opinion. I think it was great timing. He's like, oh, let's just get this out the way now. So when we get moving, we never have to talk about this again.
No, from that perception, like from that perspective, that does make a lot of sense, and I can see why he was saying that. I just think, like, I don't know, bro. Just like I said, just for me watching it, I was kind of like, well, damn, didn't that shit just happen? Like, why are we talking? You know what I mean? I'm like, why the fuck are you confessing your feelings and shit? You feel me? Like, we ain't even talk about that, bro. You feel me? Like, we didn't talk about, like, cuz, are you cool? Are you okay? Like, that, I feel like that would have been a bigger thing to talk about. Like, this nigga you idolized just victimized you in the worst possible way. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be like,
I just got shot and be like, are you cool? It's like, fucking, like, obviously not. You know, maybe it's like, let's just not even.
But that's a little different. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a little different because a lot of the damage of that was mental. So, you know what I mean? So that would be a situation where you like, cuz, are you all right? Like, but at the same time, all I'm saying is up until this point, I feel like the world was built well. I feel like the characters, how they interacted with each other, was very real for the post-apocalyptic world they was in. But with that being said, when I compare that to real life, I'm like, cuz that would be a horrible time to bring up any feelings of how you feel about a woman and she just got assaulted in that way, nigga. She's not trying to hear nothing about how you feel. Her or him. It don't matter if it was a her or him. If it's just a motherfucker just got assaulted in that way, they're not going to be trying to hear. I really, I still love you, Dwayne. I know that happened, but I love you, man. You're not going to want to hear that shit. Like, and I, as an audience member, was like, nigga, why is this nigga picking now to say this shit? I'm like, cuz, y'all could have said that for season 2, episode 1. I ain't going to lie. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like,
for never.
For never is crazy.
Yeah, Kamaru just showed between,
personal
like, whether what gender I like or whatever. It was just like, I'm here for you. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I was just like, all right, that's cool, I guess. But then you see Haruki just rip up the picture of, her, Robin, whatever. So
yeah, she ripped it up and shit.
All right, this is just like adding to Dwayne's point, just saying, all right, this is behind me and just throw this in the river.
Right,
it's going to
true,
flow wherever. Right. But, I am who I am. But I still stand by. I just don't think that dialogue should
It was, yeah.
So should have been like, oh,
It might have just been the pacing of the episode.
It
It might have just been the pacing of the episode because I feel like if they would have showed like, you know what I mean? I feel like if they would have showed them interacting or doing anything after that, and like I said, if they had been in the car driving away and that nigga had said that, and you feel me, and I would have known like, okay, significant time, you know what I mean? A more appropriate time had passed that I feel, I wouldn't be saying this. I would just be like,
but we're also assuming that it was only 5-10 minutes after. Again, these are assumptions that we are making.
That's true. And like I told Jordan when Jordan first brought it up, and like I told Jordan, I was like, because I don't think that shit was 5 minutes. I think it was like later in the day. But
it's a lot of us.
I think it was just the pacing of it. It was really just.
But again, I feel like it was needed to be said because of the dilemma that he was going through.
But yeah, like I said, that it was very like exactly what Haruki was dealing with at the time. So like I said, I think it was something that he needed to hear, but I just think like the pacing of the show made it, obviously to some people it looked like
the timing of this is crazy. I wouldn't even know because like there's certain stuff that happened in the show that happened the same day or like.
Even if it was the same day, I guarantee most people are going to agree with me. They're all going to say that it needed to be said, it needed to happen. I guarantee you, if we go on Mal or any other website, most people would agree with that take.
Okay, just give my 2 cents on the scene. To Dwayne and Theo's point, we did see him dealing with gender identity issues. We get the scene where they're like registering or trying to register for residency in the town, and he doesn't know like what to put down for his gender. True. Which I still had a problem with that, but it is what it is.
Didn't he put down female?
I think he left it blank because he just like
he put female.
Did he?
Yeah, because
in
12 when they did the flashback and he brought it up like you a woman now or you were her body, they literally flashed it and it was like that's the one that he had circled.
Yeah. Just my whole problem with the scene was just like obviously, I mean, the time, I didn't really feel like it was any good time because it's a confession and it's already like, because he's like, I know I already tried this before and I got struck down. You know, if you really don't want to hear this, just throw the rock into the water if you just want me to shut up. And he just like confesses again. Now, obviously, they was already still going to be friends, but I mean, I didn't just like watch the scene or anything, but to me, it was like a confession scene. Obviously, yeah, I agree with y'all. If it was more of a scene like, hey, we still cool, whatever. But I mean, I thought that really went without saying. I just thought the whole confession aspect was like,
that might be a poor taste.
You know, like it almost like just like capitalizing off of the trauma that he had already experienced with Rob, and like, hey, I don't know if you having any doubts at this point about whether you a boy or a girl, so. If you are, I'm going to just go ahead and shoot my shot one more time because you may be feeling more like a girl right now. So maybe you might, respond to me shooting my shot a little differently because before you was feeling like a boy. So you struck me down like, nah, bro, I don't swing that way. I'm a dude. Hey, you might be feeling different now after what happened. So, hey, I might well take my chance. That's what the scene hit me as. That's why I was like, yo, what the what?
I see what you're saying.
That's where
I feel like it all depends on the perspective. And like you saying, because like I said, like I feel like the stuff that he said as far as like I don't, you know what I mean? As far as him breaking down, like, you know what I mean? Like if I would have met you as Haruki, we would have been cool, but obviously I wouldn't have feelings for you. If I met you as your sister, we might be cool, but I don't think I would have feelings for you. I feel like him saying that was more in line with helping with her, with his. I feel like Maru saying that was helping Haruki with his gender identity problems. That is true.
Right.
And to Dwayne's point, I feel like that is true. But to your point, that nigga did start the conversation off with, hey, I know I said this before. If you don't want to hear it, throw the rock in the water. So, to be honest, if you saying like nigga came off as him confessing his feelings, like this was a confession scene, I could see why you would say that, and I could see how you could say it was a bit tone deaf, and you feel me? It just came off as like, nigga, this ain't the time for that.
Right, almost even manipulative because he said at the beginning, like he very clearly states, I don't like guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, hey man, you feeling more like a girl now. I'm trying to shoot my shot. I don't like guys. But hey, if you feeling like you're not a guy no more, hey, what's good? You know, what's good with the what's good.
Crazy.
That's why I was like, yo, that scene was out of pocket. But that was just my take on that scene. We can get to some more stuff that happens later on in this episode.
Yeah, pretty sure in this episode, Tokyo, she had like her little spasm moment. I don't know if you guys explained that to me. She had a spasm moment with her child. Well, when the director came in, and just like, hey, take the baby, and I'm just like, all right. Which I never seen before. I'm like, all right. I don't think we've seen Tokyo's power display before. Right?
No. Well, we saw it in the in like one of the like dream sequence scenes with Ashura when Ashura tells her like focus on what you're good at, do what you're good at, and we see like she's like afraid of it at first because it's like the rest of like hardening and
the disease that Taru had.
Yeah,
she just assumed that's what it was.
That was the only other time.
But it wasn't the same. Like hers was red, Taru's was black on their body, but she just seen that and got to freaking out. Was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
okay. And I mean, we still don't know what her power was. I guess she blew up. I guess she's self-destructed. But I'm like, she wouldn't blow up because she's holding the baby. So I don't know what her power did. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some theories online. It was like that maybe she like crystallized, like went into this form holding a baby, like crystallized, and then maybe Maru's mission is to like go there, find her, and find his twin, and kind of like undo the crystallization and bring them back.
Could be something like that.
But that's just a theory I've seen online. We figure out Robin was probably working with the doctor in this episode.
He had that locked door. With
we see behind the door there's human experiments going on.
I didn't really know what to make of that shit either.
I was like, he's going to
like
door,
black, and I couldn't really make out the shape of the man eater. I couldn't make out what was going on. I just
said it was like a resident
and a fucking blob.
That had moved there a couple months before. I don't know if it was purposeful, but she did kind of resemble the sister. In a sense.
A little bit.
Yeah, she did. She had like black. It's basically just like a woman with black long hair type.
That was pretty crazy.
That is a little bit of a mind fuck.
Yeah, I definitely thought that Manny was gonna get it. I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's definitely. Quit! Quit! I was like, lock the door, please.
Quit. I'd have been like, burn the building down. I don't care. And it's in the water filtration system.
Yeah, I also thought I saw another theory that they was like they think maybe a man eater came and killed everybody there, including Robin, because that when they go back, when we see like this like Black Order or whatever infiltrate later on, nobody's there. And it's like, Robin got his ass beaten.
That was the Ministry of Reconstruction. Them niggas had sent for, you know what I mean? Yeah, because they said like Robin was a chief or something, but he said like I partnered with these niggas and they kind of really brought the infrastructure and shit. He just helped with the crops and shit. So they literally was like nigga, we from the office and like we come to investigate, and that's what it was like. Ain't nobody hearing shit. Yeah. And then they opened the door, and then that's what, you feel me? Then it was like, what the fuck was this nigga in here really? Like, what the fuck was this nigga in here doing?
That's what I took after one of the motherfuckers at my room knocked out. They woke up from their 3-hour nap. It was like, hey, so
that's what I thought. I thought Robin just woke up and was like, fuck, I'm gonna be found out, and just got the fuck out of here. But I mean, then again, like y'all could be right too. Maybe you niggas got ate up and shit. Niggas was just coming by to see what the fuck was going on. But
I mean, the door was locked. To be fair.
Yeah. I'm not saying. Then again, I don't think so because the whole village was dependent on that. That nigga said like we filter our own water here. Everybody's getting the water from here. So if they got a chief or somebody in some position at this motherfucker, and they not hearing from this nigga. They gon' this is an important building. Like it said, authorized personnel only. They gon' check on this motherfucking building. Because everybody getting their water from here.
Yeah, filtering water, power.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it would make sense that they would be like sending niggas to check and then feel me come to find out this nigga done just vacated. And like, once again, like we heard, like I said, there's multiple times that nigga had left the group or wherever he was at and just up and left with no word. So if he doing shit like this, it makes sense why this nigga's up and leaving if he, you know what I mean? Robin Epstein and shit.
Yeah, and we seen that he had a relationship with the sister before everything went down at like the flashback, the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Because you had like a flashback
where he was having like I guess a fling with Kiriko or whatever.
Yeah.
That was confirmed in the show. Like
Yeah, because we see the guards talking about it like they used to have like a fling or whatever. And
I thought that was them just
assuming.
Yeah, I thought that was them assuming because when they said it, it tipped Maru off because Maru knows that Haruki said like, cause you know what I mean? Like I look up to this nigga, so even if he had something with the sister, nigga, Haruki would have never, you know what I mean? Haruki would have never looked at that nigga that way because he like, bro, this nigga's like a big brother to me. Yeah. So when he said that, it tipped him off like, nigga, no, nigga, if they're in there fucking, it has to be non-consensual. Like he wouldn't go for that. He don't like boys.
I mean, it could have been non-consensual from the start, but we do get the scene where he starts to like recall his sister's memories or whatever. We get the scene where he's in there laying in bed and it's dark, and Robin's like, hey, you know, it's cool, whatever. He ain't gonna wake up. He's a deep sleeper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Okay,
They're not gonna hear
I'm not
us
gonna lie. I remember somebody saying Haruki is a deep sleeper, but I didn't know what the point of that was.
Robin, yeah.
They showed me that for. But I probably just wasn't paying attention. I ain't gonna lie. My mind was still rolling. My mind was racing. I was not paying attention probably.
Yeah, so we don't know. Probably with just how he is, we could probably assume it was non-consensual.
Oh, even their relationship.
Even
I
back
see what
then,
you're saying. Even back
and
then, their relationship.
A lot of people who had like theorized online, we see the little shot where we heard a gunshot and we get the flash of him, basically confirming that after she finds her brother, after he's like half eaten by the man-eater, Robin is the first one to stumble upon her and he shoots her in the head. So that's why you were saying like, you know, why would they need a brain swap when she wasn't damaged at all? She got shot in the back of the head by Robin. And people online was kind of like saying that maybe he did that to cover up like the assault, like what he was doing to her. Right. He didn't want her to say something, and he just took advantage of the opportunity. And then obviously the twist is that the doctor is not like some bad guy, mad scientist or whatever. Robin is the bad guy, and made the doctor just, after Robin shoots her in the back of the head and leaves, he like finds them and is like, well, she's dead or whatever. Her brain is destroyed. She got shot in the head. The only way of like at least saving one of them is to take Bro's brain and put it in her body.
Because that will back up. Because he did say when Robin first seen him, he was like, yeah, the look that Robin gave me was just like,
you're supposed to be dead. You're supposed to be dead. I shot you in the back of the head. You're supposed to be dead.
You shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I was wondering why he was looking at her like that too. I was like, what the fuck is this nigga problem?
Yeah.
Damn, hey.
Keep adding on to
that's what I got. Heavenly delusion, man. These delusions be heavenly, man.
What?
Till you peel that first layer back, and you see
this is Hale's journey.
The Robins is Cosby's, the Kirikos is Haruki's, man. Ain't nothing that's a seam in this show. I can't lie, y'all, man.
You already getting to like closing stuff. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's get into our closing review take on Heavenly Delusion as a show. What you guys think of it? Just to sum up our thoughts about the show.
I definitely say me personally, man. I don't really have a lot to complain about with this show. I mean, the only things that the only things I did have a problem with, I ain't gonna lie, episode 12, that motherfucker was crazy. And I would say, like I said, I think a lot of the plot around the body switch as far as with Kiriko and Haruki, I feel like if Kiriko had been just regular Kiriko from the jump, not much would have changed. So I don't know if, that was something they did just to add in a plot twist. I don't know if it was, I don't know if maybe it's integral to later on in the story, but it kind of felt kind of inconsequential. But other than that, man, I really enjoyed the show. All the other parts, I think the world was well built. I liked a lot of the characters. I love the side characters. I think, especially the kids in the compound, how they interact with each other. I thought that was realistic for, kids that were supposed to be, like middle school age or whatever. I think that I liked Haruki and Maru's relationship, just kind of their dynamic with each other. Like, like Theo said, whether it was the comedy or how they cared for each other, how they had each other's backs. I think it had, great action. It was a lot of tense moments. I think the mystery was nice. And, even though a lot of things really went over my head and I had to, kind of consult with the group and hear other people's takes and theories, I kind of like stuff like that. I like that the story wasn't just so, like, cut and dry and, like, so easily digestible to where it was boring or not interesting. I think it was just, just mysterious enough, just complicated enough that would warrant, like, either another watch through, or if you really want to know, like, this is a show that I probably would be pressed to read the manga or at least do more research and find out, like, have some things explained to me. So I definitely like that, man. Me personally, I would give it, I'm going to give this show, it's going to sound crazy, man. I'm going to give this show a 9 out of 10. I think, you feel me? That 1 point is gonna be episode 12, bro. I feel like the essay, it was a bit much. I don't know. I didn't really care for it. Yes, it was a powerful moment in the story, but it was just a bit over the top, bro, for me, as far as like, as far as just like the weight of it, and I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it was there mostly for like shock value or like just to add to the plot twist of Robin's character, as opposed to it being like a circumstance of the world they, were in, or like they ran into bandits or like some misfortune and was just kind of like only Robin sticked that he did that to her. So I kind of thought that was, like I said, that was very off-putting. But so I would give it a 9 out of 10, bro. This is probably the best show that I would never recommend. So yeah, I'll put it like that. Like if you happen to watch it, if you happen to stumble upon it, you're going to get a lot out of it, bro. There's a lot of things you're going to like about it, but it's going to fuck you up. So I wouldn't recommend it to nobody. But if you already plan on watching it or you're already starting watching it, you're going to enjoy it for what it is up until, certain moments. So
Favorite character?
Favorite character, Maru. Off the rip, I would say Juichi as far as just side character. Like I fuck with Juichi, but like overall whole show, I would have to say Maru. I think he was funny as hell. He was definitely relatable. I liked a lot of his inner dialogue as far as us, finding out how he was thinking, and we kind of seen him grow. If not even a lot like character wise or moral wise, but we saw him grow just in terms of like street smarts and common sense and like, like dealing with the different people in the world that might try to trick you or, or like get money off you or, different things like that. Like, you feel me? We seen him kind of go from somebody that's a good fighter but not adept at surviving at all to somebody that's reading, writing, cooking, hunting, fishing. So we really see him grow to become somebody that would be self-sufficient. Whereas before he was very reliant on Haruki to do a lot for him as far as, Haruki was definitely putting him on game. Like, don't drink, this water isn't good. Don't drink this. Don't go there. I wouldn't go there. Turn the light off. Be on the lookout for this. Watch out for this. Like, he was definitely putting him on a lot of game, and I feel like we definitely saw his character grow as far as, like I said, just as far as his survivability and his kind of street smarts and dealing with the world that they found themselves in.
Okay.
For sure.
Interesting.
I go for a score. I'll probably give this show, just trying to keep it objective, I'll give it an 8. I think the Mao score was very accurate, very fair with the 8.22. I give it an 8. There's some of the aspects I thought were weak on the story, like some of the episodes that didn't really move the plot along much. Kind of felt like at times they were bouncing around, like, oh, we're going here, then we're going there. Oh, no, we just found out about this new thing, let's go there. Again, wasn't a big fan of like the whole body swap aspect of the story. My enjoyment was brought down heavily by the last 2 episodes, a very unsatisfying finale. With a lot of these, we see that a lot with these like read the manga endings. Yeah. So, yeah, I think just try to keep it objective. I'd still give it an 8 because I wouldn't factor my enjoyment into that. And I'd have to say probably for my favorite character, I'd probably say Cuckoo, just because I like fun, quirky characters. And I thought every time she was like on screen or any scene with her was always funny. And I like how she ends up getting like the picture from Kona of like the fish man eater, and then later becomes the fish man eater. I thought that was a good aspect of it. But yeah, I'll give it an 8. Favorite character, Kona. You want to go next?
Yeah, sure. All right. My first watch through, I gave it an 8, but watching it this time, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because a lot of the things in the show, you had to be like really big brain to get some of like the great aspects of the show, and trying to be like objective, like a regular anime watcher, they wouldn't have picked up on like a lot of the great details that really made this show amazing that most people wouldn't have picked up on unless you watch it multiple times and talk to a whole bunch of different people. And I feel like with the second half of the anime, it would definitely probably be like an 8, 8.5 depending on where it goes. But I feel like just for this half where it was and how like dependent on how smart you are or how much research you do.
Right. Or how much you're paying attention.
Yeah. I'd have to give it a 7.5 for it. It would kind of be hard to recommend to somebody. But I can understand an 8. I don't know.
Sure.
I thought my 8 was like based off of, obviously it's not finished.
Yeah.
So there's already, there's tons of plot holes and stuff that still haven't been explained because it is unfinished. But I did feel like, it warranted an 8 because of the world building and just, they did do a great job of building a level of intrigue. Me personally, if the season 2 came out, I probably wouldn't watch season 2 just because I really wasn't, I didn't really want to follow the characters that badly, but there is a level of intrigue about, learning more about the world that if I did watch a season 2, it would really more so be for like, to get more answers about the world, not so much the characters.
Let me ask this too. What was your rating after watching it before coming here?
What do you mean? Oh, like before I kind of was able to piece stuff together?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I probably would have gave it like an 8. You feel me? Like I probably would have gave it an 8 just off, like I said, just off of everything else that I enjoyed about the show. You know what I mean? Like besides, you feel me, the last 2 episodes or the second to last episode really throwing me off and leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Like you know what I mean? I thoroughly enjoyed everything else, and you know what I mean? I was waiting to see how it would end, to see if it would be something that I would recommend or, you know what I mean, be like, hey, people should watch this, but, you know what I mean, and like after being able to put everything together, which is kind of why my score rose up, but I also would say, and like I said, like as the more pieces I put together, I was able to really appreciate the story more. Like I said, there was a lot of characters that like, you know what I mean, like you don't even know you watching a character that you might fuck with die or whatever the case may be until, you know what I mean, I was able to put the dots together like, that's who this character was this, and this man eater was this character. Then, you know what I mean, it made me appreciate it even more, but, you know what I mean, like I said, I probably wouldn't recommend this to nobody for real, but.
And that was kind of my point.
But I think it was a great, amazing show. Like, I loved it. I loved the fact that it wasn't just so. I love the fact that the story was complicated enough, and like Jordan said, like it built intrigue. Like it made me interested to know like what the hell is going on. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted answers, and it wasn't just kind of like I don't know. It wasn't like a lot of shows where it's like I want to know the answer so I can review it, but I was genuinely curious, like what the fuck is going on. Like, I was genuinely like, I genuinely want to know like what the fuck was going on. So. Yeah, I liked it. I wouldn't recommend it, but I think it was a great show.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Like initial watching it without labbing or hearing anyone else explain it changes.
You was watching this by yourself.
Yeah,
it
changes.
Tuned into, you feel me, Otaku perspective, and you wasn't doing your research, and you was just watching this. Yeah, you probably wouldn't fuck with it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, an average normal person watching this probably wouldn't fuck with it.
Yeah, it changes your perspective. Like once you really get to see like I say that's I think the small details where you make the show, and on a first watch without like looking anything up or really paying attention or without watching it multiple times, you wouldn't get the small details that made the show so good.
No, you're right. You're definitely right.
Yeah, my turn, please.
Talk to him, yo.
A lot of what these gentlemen said, I'm gonna bounce off, especially T's initial review. I'm not gonna give it a score just yet. I'm just gonna go off what I think. My initial review, I had a hard time even getting past episode 3 just because I did not really want to watch this. After the first episode, I'm like, all right, what are we getting into? All right, I'm getting Promised Neverland vibes from this. Where are we gonna lead into this whole plot and what's this world that we're getting into? I definitely like the character Maru once we got introduced to him first time, which was pretty cool. And then I had a little blockade moment in the middle of the week trying to watch it again. There was a couple of episodes where I was just like, all right, I had to rewatch this just to see what I missed on this. And then just hustling through all the way through the week, even just to this morning, just finishing up the last few episodes. We in our group chat with you, what Jordan was talking about. He finished before we did, and he was talking about the last 2 episodes. I'm like, all right, I have to see what these last 2 episodes was like. What is he talking about? And I didn't get the same reaction he got. I understood 100% where he got it from. But for me, I just wanted to get through with the show. The real reason I got through it is just because of the relationship between Haruki and Maru, just them two, just their comedic interaction with each other, just like what T said. The world was great. I mean, the plot, just like what Dwayne said. I mean, if you don't get it the first time going through, you may not enjoy it all the way. But I mean, after coming here, we discussed it all podcasts about certain stuff that we miss. It was connecting dots, just like what T said. Oh, okay, that's what that means. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, but if we had not done this, I would just watch it and just be like, all right, it was okay. It had its funny moments, but other than that, there was some wild stuff in the show that I'll just say, okay, maybe that could not have been in the show, or certain concepts that were like, okay, that didn't be needed. But I see what they was going for some of this little theme of, you know, I don't really talk about, just make controversial. But me initially, it was okay. I mean, I'm glad these guys enjoyed it. I mean, the rating, I wouldn't give it no 9. I just give it a 7. I'm just gonna give it a flat out 7. You know what I'm saying? Even after hearing what they said about certain plots that we missed, I'll probably give a 7.3, 7.5.
What the plot dots was.
It was cool though. I mean, I'm not saying I'm hating on the show. It's just it wasn't for me. Other than just the 2 characters that I just enjoyed thoroughly. I mean, the side story that we got from Gentry, I mean, I love that. That was probably the great side story that we got from some of the side characters. Even though it's like a episode and a half that we got from that. Some of the scenes they were okay shot. I mean, I love the intro and the ending was pretty good. I don't got really too much to say about this show. I mean, as far as recommendation go, will I recommend this to somebody? Nope, absolutely not. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. But for those anime watchers that seen anime, that just want to put something on their list and they're down on something, sure, give it a try. But beforehand, I would definitely see some just quick reviews and seeing what you don't get into. Because what we talked about today, there's certain stuff that I know I didn't say that I'm not going to put on the podcast. But, that's my initial right. 7 out of 10, it's okay. I mean, it has its funny moments that carried out the show for me. Another thing I didn't really care for, because I know we mentioned about 86, was like because I didn't catch on to it that it was being the past and certain the present. I was getting like the 86 vibe was just like the point of view just keep switching and kind of just throwing me off for a bit.
It's kind of jarring.
Yeah, it was kind of jarring. It's like, all right, so is this now or is this past or present? This is intertwined. I didn't understand that. But I mean, after some of the key points that these gentlemen had pointed out, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, all right, Shiro. Okay, that was Yusume with Shiro. Okay, I got it all. But other than that, that's all I got for this recommendation. Can't wait for favorite character. Maru by far. I'll say it's a split between Maru or even Hakuri, just because of the comedic relief I got from it.
He was a good character. He was a
I mean, other than that, nobody else. I want to say somebody from the Dome, but I can't really think of anyone from the Dome that I really care for that I like.
Yeah, they were all definitely a bit
I mean, we got more of it because even like the last episode, we see them going off. Well, it's like foreshadowing. We see them going off on the boat on land, but we know that what it is then was what we see now today.
Right.
So like another thing Joy said, some plot holes that we'll see in like season 2, hopefully. As far as like watching season 2, I'm probably not gonna see it. But just because of how curious I am what they're gonna take for this story,
I'll be there.
I'll probably take a look at it and go based off the first few episode rule. If I'm being honest with it. Yeah, but that's all I got for that.
All right.
So,
That wraps it up, guys, man, for Heavenly Delusion. Let's get into what will next week's show be.
Delusion.
I got a big one, man. This will actually take up the next 2 weeks. I got a 47 episode show.
ooh.
If you guys tuned in to our episode 0, man, you'll remember this was my 3rd favorite anime of all time. No way. Man, we got Ayazawa's Nana. We're going to be reviewing Nana next week. Man, tune in. Watch us review episodes 1 through episode 25 of Nana. First reactions, man. What you guys think? Have you had any experience with this show before?
Never even heard of it, man. It's funny because when I heard Nana, I kept thinking in my head was talentless Nana off Funimation.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that keep popping in my head. But yeah, I got high hopes for this. I mean, this is on Jordan's top favorite list, right?
Yep,
So
number 3.
got high hopes for this. So we'll see how it goes. T?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know. We'll see. I've heard of Nana, like, you feel me? Like I said, I've heard Jordan kind of, you know what I mean, give it its praise before. I don't know. I mean, y'all know me, man. I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the action. I know they not whooping no ass in this show, so I'm kind of knowing what to expect. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be, a bit chiller, a bit calmer, but it's after the last show, a good palate cleanser would be nice. So, hey, man, hopefully it's something I can enjoy, and you know what I mean. We'll see.
When did Nana come out, Jordan?
I think like early 2000s.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be this or Steins Gate again, but yeah, I know it's going to be one of the two. But
I'd have been shitty.
I'm excited to see how it is. I'm not going to have my expectations too high because I don't want to watch it and be disappointed or anything like that. So I'm just keeping my expectations kind of low, but I've never heard anything bad about it. So.
Okay. You give a quick synopsis, Jordan? Because I've never.
Nana is basically about 2 girls with the same name who move into an apartment, and basically just they go through life together. One is an aspiring musician who's trying to like come up big in the like rock scene in Tokyo. It's like a drama / music / a life type anime, and the other one is another girl named Nana, and she's coming from the countryside, and she's like boy crazy and she's trying to get a life. They're both like in their early 20s, and they're basically just trying to get through life. And basically the series revolves around just their lives and like the different things that happen, kind of like drive the series. A great series with great character writing is what really stands out to me the most in this show. The songs are good, obviously, with it being a music anime, but mostly like the writing, specifically the character writing, is what just makes this show go to that next level. Kind of similar to a Fruits Basket, where it kind of like it's so good it like transcends its genre. Where Fruits Basket obviously being a reverse harem, where you think like, okay, this is like a harem for girls, but the writing and the character writing in Fruits Basket is just so amazing that obviously there's even a huge male fan base for Fruits Basket. This is kind of the same thing. It's a shoujo anime, supposed to be like basically like shonen, not shonen, but like how shonen is for like young men, shoujo is supposed to be for like young girls or teen girls. And again, it's just like one of those shows where it just ended up being so good that even a lot of like the reviews of Nana that I've seen on YouTube have been by like male YouTubers. So even then it kind of transcends its genre, and it's just in general a good show.
Okay, so is this what? Because when you mentioned that I keep thinking Carolyn Tuesday. Is this what Carolyn Tuesday wanted to be, like, early? All right, as far as being musical goes, I mean, I love Carolyn Tuesday.
Yeah,
so, I mean, is it something?
If I were to compare this,
beast,
to Carolyn Tuesday, I would say this is like Carolyn Tuesday with slightly worse music, but like a 100 times better story.
This has worse music than Carolyn Tuesday. I don't know.
But I would say with this one, you know how Carolyn Tuesday, a lot of the great parts of Carolyn Tuesday were like the music scenes, like they do performances. This is not really performance. Basically, like you'll get like a concert and they'll show like maybe 10 seconds of a concert, a piece of a song, and then just go to like, okay, here are the characters hanging out after the concert. It's not as
it ain't really
focused on the music as Carolyn Tuesday is, because obviously Carolyn Tuesday being an anime original, they were able to do stuff like this. This is based off of manga, so obviously in its source material, there is no music, so the music doesn't carry it as much, although the music that we do see throughout this series is really good.
Okay. All right, cool.
Well, real question, sub or dub?
Oh, thank you for that. Dub. This is one of those, like, if anybody come in here and say they watch the sub, bro, I'm going to, like, be so disappointed. This is one of the best dubs to me ever. I think it was like a Geneon dub or something like that. It's one of those, like, older companies that I think kind of fell off. So this is not one of those dubs where you hear it and you're like, this is
character.
Right, this is riddled with voice actors that I'm kind of like tired of, or that they've done so much that you associate them with like 20 other different characters. This would no doubt be a dub where you're like, okay, this is a great dub to experience, because a lot of these characters have unique voices from actors I've never experienced before, and they all do a great job. The casting in this dub is immaculate. Absolutely love this show. Love this. One of my favorite dubs all time. Right up there with like a Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop, Penny and Stocking. Just one of the dubs that I hold sacred. Yeah.
All right. Where can we watch this at?
I don't think Nana is able to be legally streamed anywhere right now. It's like sometimes it's on Netflix, but then sometimes they take it off. I think it's been on Hulu at times, but then been taken off. So
it might just like region.
Yeah, kind of like region based. But yeah. So if you guys want to watch along with us, man, you might have to.
We don't condone that, but
we don't condone using pirated sites. But
make sure that you here next week. That's all I can say. Nothing else. That's all I know.
Amazon affiliate link down below.
Right. I got the DVDs for the boys, so they all legally. They took all legal avenues, but man, we appreciate y'all, man, for joining us with this on this episode talking about Heavenly Delusion, man. Follow Otaku Perspective on social media. Links will be down in the description. Get updates on when episodes are dropping. Get behind the scenes footage. And hey, that's all I got to say for this episode, man. Catch y'all next week when we review episodes 1 through 25 of Nana. Signing off.
Where you rose in my city, I know it gets cold. So tired of these stories going on.